Fret not, friends. The Fan is still live and local with Fan Sports Saturday. Sure, the name might not be great, but what if we included Dane Sanzenbacher, a 4-year letterman at Ohio State, MVP of the 2010 football season, a former Cincinnati Bengal, and a man with 4 pairs of gold pants.
Fired to the 15, to the 10, and taken down at the 8 is Terrell. Football fumbled at the end of the play. It's in the end zone and recovered by an Ohio State player for a touchdown.
Is that Dane Sanzenbacher?
It sure looks like it. He fell on the fumble in the end zone. Dane Sanzenbacher.
It's Fan Sports Saturday with Buckeye heartthrob Dane Sanzenbacher.
I think he's just dreaming.
Oh, and Eric Reiser, too.
2 weeks from today, they'll be coming to your city. Who's they, you ask? Everybody. Everyone and their grandma will descend upon Central Ohio for week 1 of the college football season in a game you've only been looking forward to since whenever they scheduled it, 2012, 2013?
Was that a subtle Big and Rich reference there?
It was.
Too? And to a Texas game? Eric.
Pretty good.
You are getting good at radio, my friend.
Well, it's not like I don't practice this in the morning, in the mirror.
That was really good.
Because you mentioned Big and Rich, who have previously led ESPN's College Game Day. And as a kid growing up watching college football, that was everything. 9 o'clock in the morning, my ass was in the seat. Big and Rich were leading me in to the college football that was to take over the 12-hour Saturday for young, medium young, now old Eric. Mm-hmm. And it still will, to a lesser extent, because I felt like College Game Day has become like the NWO in wrestling, where they keep adding new members. And with each new member addition, I go, I'm less interested in the College Game Day spectacle. Because I do want my ball. We're ball knowers on this show.
Of course.
Right?
And if you turned in, you know that.
Yeah, you should already know this by now, and especially Dane Sanzenbacher, who I love that we're able to do this. And I'm so excited for you, because in 2 weeks, it'll be an early morning for you on the Fans pregame show.
I did get confirmed. I had to confirm, hey, Fish, we're doing the pregame show this year. He's like, yep, same crew. I was like, great, because it is the best pregame show out there. We cook, hands down. We are early. If you're there, so noon, we're kicking off at 6:30 a.m.
And you'll be this year at the O on Lane Avenue. So if you're not familiar with that area, there's Riverwatch Towers, there's a Panera, College Traditions. It's sandwiched in between that.
Oh, this is news to me.
Okay.
So it's not the same location.
It's not the shipping container this year.
Oh, the shipping container. That thing got cold late in the season.
Well, fortunately, if you're not a fan of the cold, August 30th will not be that.
No, but the best thing about the show is that I've got my man, Matty Ice, who is so temperature sensitive that we can just riff off each other about it's never good enough. There's like 2 games a year where we're comfortable or we're either too hot or freezing cold.
Yeah.
So it works out. We get through it.
I don't know for Matty Ice if this is the best place for him to live, considering how he deals with temperatures, hot and cold. It is home, but I wonder, like, if there's and then I continue to wonder, and I think about Matty a lot, I do.
Good.
Where on this planet would be a comfortable place for him to live? And I don't know if it exists. Because he is the most temperature-sensitive person I've met.
No, he could hang in, like, Tennessee.
You think?
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's pretty mild. It gets pretty hot down there.
That's the thing.
It gets
a little toasty down there.
You know what? My man needs a vacation home. He needs to be a snowbird.
But the Fans tailgate show will be emanating live 6 a.m. Saturday, August 30th, with you, with the aforementioned Matty Ice, and then Devere Posey, leading you up to a big noon kick that we have been waiting for forever. Ohio State and Texas, number 1 versus number 3, if you follow the Associated Press polls, which came out earlier this week. And we've got plenty to go off of today between 10 and 1. There was some pretty big news yesterday that we'll get to, but for the preseason polls, they don't mean anything, yet they mean a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll get into a little bit more of that in the noon hour. But I'll just say this to those who will not be with us then. I don't know why you wouldn't be. If you're starting with us now, just stick with us. I promise it gets entertaining. They serve as a roadmap for the College Football Playoff Committee, who, because they're human, cannot watch every single college football game. How many members, Dane, of the college football public will be tuned in next Saturday at noon to Farmageddon in Dublin? You've got Kansas State and Iowa State playing the Aer Lingus Classic in Dublin, Ireland, week 0.
What time does that kick?
Noon Eastern.
Noon Eastern? A lot.
Which, like,
were you saying that you don't think people will?
I don't think people on the committee will be.
Oh, yeah.
And then I wonder how many people are ready for that game. Like they're going to make their day, they're already going to plan themselves for next Saturday. Like I do think a lot of the viewing audience would be like, oh, what's on? Oh, college football. Haven't had this in a while.
Yeah, that's what it'll be.
Right?
I think it'll be a nice novelty. It will be a tee up to remind people that college football is about to start, but I don't think it's going to be the end all be all. No. I think that is coming in 2 weeks.
And to my greater point about the College Football Playoff Committee, they can't watch all of these football games. So I think this does, the AP and the coaches polls, provide them kind of a cheat sheet for the first month and a half of the season before then they've got to get together and figure out who the top 25 teams are.
Obviously you could, and we will in the noon hour, but you can dive in endlessly on this.
Yes.
But I think it shows even more now. In the past couple years, we've had to dissect why people end up where they are. And it does matter a lot. Where you start, you tend to not fall too far out of that. But when you have the system built to there's not a lot of parity in schedule. You have to start somewhere. Yep. So yeah, there's a ton riding on a preseason ranking. That's one of many uniquely odd things about this sport.
It's what's so wonderful about it.
It is so uniquely odd.
I love college football for all the stupidity that it brings, for all the opportunity.
Well, that's good. Keep that attitude and you'll be just fine.
Well, I think this is the perfect spot for me.
Yeah.
I think Saturdays on the radio in Columbus, no better spot to talk about the absurdity of college football and everything that we really do love about it. And despite yesterday's news, we've still got so much to be hopeful and to look forward to. Ohio State is scrimmaging today. They've got 14 days until that game against Texas. Still don't have a quarterback, or at least still don't have a quarterback announced. Now, Ryan Day is set to speak with the media after Monday's practice. But then you're looking next Monday and then the following Monday when he has his availability, or maybe it's the Tuesday. That's game week. And so, Dane, when Ryan Day speaks Monday, it'd be August 18th. I think it was around the similar time on the calendar last year he named Will Howard. Do you expect a starter to be explicitly named?
Yes. I would think you'd have more. I haven't followed it as closely, but from all the lead up, if that's what they're comfortable with and it's worked out the past couple times, yeah. I mean, I have no pressure or feeling on when the current staff announces that starter. I think they've done this dance so many times, and it's not like this is a new staff coming in where you have to have those concerns. So me personally, I'm like, you've done this before. It's worked out. Announce them whenever you want.
There is a lot of trust in who's running the organization.
They've earned the trust at this point to make that decision that I don't think there's a lot of fire to say, like, hey, just name one. What are you doing? You're botching this. Like,
and I do think that Buckeye fan would be comfortable with whomever trots out there.
I think so.
Whether it's Julian Sain or whether it's Lincoln Keenholz, I think the talent that both of those men have displayed, and especially now when you can get fans to have eyeballs on these guys at camp. You know, with Ohio State opening up for the first 3 days, you had a good portion of the fan base, and with social media and with the NFL-sized beat that Ohio State football has, you rarely miss much from any of these guys, from either of these guys. And so I think there's all of that makes for, at least for me, and I do think I'm not alone in this, that trust is there whomever they trot out there for that game. Also knowing that you can stumble in that week 1 game against Texas. I know it sounds blasphemous, but there's still plenty of the season that stands in front of Ohio State. Where we saw last year, they had to stumble against Oregon. They had to stumble against that team up north. They still put on the greatest 4-run postseason run of any team in my lifetime. So what you're going to see on August 30th, I think, regardless of who the quarterback is, and still having the faith in which other of the two, they'll compete their asses off against Texas, and it'll be a hell of a game, and it'll be clunky for Texas too.
And we're allowed to say asses on the radio. You've done it twice now.
Ass. 3rd time.
Okay.
So we haven't been yanked off.
I'm not going there because
we haven't been yanked off yet.
My sweet, impressionable son is probably listening, and he's going to say, Mr. Eric said this, and I'm going to have to explain to him.
Well, now I feel bad.
Well, I'm just saying you have to have an eye on your, especially right now. There's only 2 people I can say for sure are listening, and one of them, that's
one of them's impressionable enough to where I should watch. Okay,
that's okay. No, don't change your mindset on this show based on that.
I don't think it's
people are driving in the cars,
and we thank you for tuning in.
Kids,
if you
We're good, clean boys,
you know
Eric.
what?
We're going to keep this.
Again, I don't want to ever be accused of gimmick infringement. We'll be good boys.
Okay.
And I will
Actually, let's get off that gimmick.
I will not be potty mouth for the remainder of the program. And if I am,
we can do it. We can still sell records like Will Smith.
Throw something at me. Did you know he's on tour?
No, but
he came out with a new album earlier this year. I was looking at this the other day, and he's on tour in the UK.
Huh.
Will Smith's new music, very bad.
Okay.
Do not give it any of your time. And we will give Will Smith no more of our time.
And we will give him no more of ours.
Program. It was about this time yesterday. We found out about the news from the NCAA's Committee on Infractions in what to do about the Michigan man and the devious sign stealing scandal. We'll get you what the NCAA said, what the NCAA did, and how we feel about it coming up next. It's Sports Saturday on The Fan.
Wake up with the Fan. Eat lunch with the Fan. Go to bed with the Fan. Dream about the Fan. Then change your sheets. Gross.
Ew, you guys are gross, but stick around in case I don't find anyone else.
The Fan.
At Dick's Sporting Goods, we have always believed sport has the power to change lives. Community happens here. Change happens here. Sport happens here. Introducing the all-new Dick's House of Sport, bringing new experiences, new services, and unrivaled selection from the top brands to a new place Polaris can call home. Featuring a rock wall, a HitTrax multi-sport cage, and 3 golf hitting bays. Dick's House of Sport at Polaris Fashion Place. Grand opening celebration August 15th through August 17th.
Got one of those days that never stops? Try a stop at Speedway. Refresh your fuel tank, refresh your U-tank with 69-cent large Big Gulp drinks. And refresh the vibe for any drive. Refresh at Speedway with 69-cent large Big Gulp drinks with speedy rewards, and try exclusive Mountain Dew Infinite Swirl flavor for a limited time only. The convenience stores of Speedway. Valid through 8/26/25. See app for full terms.
The roof of your home protects what matters most in your life. Your family, your memories, your peace of mind. So when it comes time to replace the roof over your head, you need a name you can trust. Newman Roofing. Don't just take our word for it. Here's our friend Cindy on why she chose Newman Roofing over all the rest.
We had interviewed and talked with several other roofing companies around the city. The salesperson that came to speak with us was extremely knowledgeable, answered questions, took his time with us. We were happy to make Newman our choice.
And you'll have peace of mind knowing that on the day of the installation, we'll give you and your home the respect it deserves.
The guys arrived right on time. The crew leader came and talked with us, let us know what they were going to be doing. He was here all day with the crew. That itself was very impressive.
If you're thinking about your roofing or siding, give Newman Roofing a call today.
We were very happy with our experience, and we would highly recommend Newman to anybody we talk to.
Don't just get a new roof, get a Newman roof. Call 614-NEW-ROOF or visit online at newmanroofing.com.
At Kroger, you never compromise. You get high quality and low prices. Like you never compromise your meal with our spring salad mix that's guaranteed fresh. And you never compromise your budget with lower prices on over 1,000 items. Hand it to Kroger shoppers. You never compromise. Kroger. Fresh for everyone.
Save big on eggs. Right now, 18-count cartons of large grade A Kroger brand eggs are on sale for just $3.49 each with your digital coupon. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
1-877 Cards for Kids. KARS Cards for Kids.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877 for Kids to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877 for Kids.
1-877 for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
After an audit of our programming, the suits here at The Fan decided we needed more baseball. And that common man is stupid. Good news. We fixed one of those problems. Catch the Reds on The Fan all season long. Yay, baseball.
Imagine what it would feel like getting tackled head-on by a 240-pound linebacker. You'd be in serious pain, right? But if you're unbuckled in a car crash, at just 50 miles an hour, you become a deadly projectile that can slam into other passengers with 8 times that amount of force. Don't let someone else take the hit. Buckle up and visit buckleup.ohio.gov to learn more. Brought to you by ODOT and ODPS.
Hey, it's Bobby Carper. When was the last time you hopped out of bed without that knee or back screaming at you? Or walked down a flight of stairs without groaning step by step? Hey, that was me. And I had to deal with that from all the years of playing football. But I went and saw my friends over at QC Kinetics, and it disappeared. I didn't have to tough it out anymore. Call over QC Kinetics with Dr. Wolkoff and get your free consultation. It's regenerative medicine, folks. There are thousands of patients who will tell you that they wish they would have done it sooner, just like I did. I'm glad I did, and my experience was tremendous. You go in, you have a consult, they lay out the plan, they talk about it. It's no pills, it's no scalpels. It's just your own body's biologics treating you and helping heal you. So find out if you're a good candidate. Go to qckinetics.com/Columbus or call 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544. They have offices all around Central Ohio, so be sure to go and check them out.
Hi, welcome to IKEA. Hi, I'm in a whirlwind of college prep. Gotcha. We've got affordable solutions to create the perfect college living space. Great. And visit our website to see how verified college students with an IKEA family account can receive a one-time use 15% off coupon. Nice. You guys think of everything. Pretty much. Offer ends 9/30/25. Valid ID required. Discount applied proportionally across items purchased as shown on receipt. See IKEA-USA.com/ready-for-college for complete terms.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Hey there, Central Ohio. Hope you're ready for a hot weekend forecast. Back to the low 90s and mostly sunny Saturday afternoon. A few scattered showers and storms could be possible. Chances increasing Saturday night into Sunday. Sunday also having a few scattered showers and storms. Temperatures in the low 90s. 90s will continue into next week before more rain returns by Tuesday. That's your latest 10 weather impact forecast. I'm meteorologist Michael Behrens on 97.1 The Fan.
T-Bone and Tybus are everything you want in a delicious breakfast. Lots of empty calories, no nutritional value.
Weekday mornings from 6 to 9.
The Fan. Just because it's the weekend doesn't mean we shut up. This is Fan Sports Saturday.
So if you're just joining college football conversation, you've been out of it for a week, you're wondering what the hell's going on. Well, we're a week out from week 0. We're 2 weeks out from Ohio State and Texas. But Friday morning, the NCAA's Committee on Infractions released their 70-plus page report on a 2-3-year investigation into Michigan football's sign stealing scandal. And I'll just read the title of the report. Overwhelming evidence shows impermissible scouting scheme in Michigan football program. But this we knew. The NCAA, in their findings, says during the 2021, 2022, and 2023 football seasons, Connor Stallions directed and arranged for individuals to conduct off-campus, in-person scouting of Michigan's future regular season opponents. In total, 56 instances of off-campus, in-person scouting of 13 future regular season opponents occurred across 52 contests. Stallion's conduct resulted in a collective Level 1 violation of the impermissible scouting rule that expressly prohibits off-campus, in-person scouting of future opponents. By his own admission, Stallion's extended significant resources in an effort to plan the scheme, spending nearly $35,000 on tickets in 2022 alone. Now, the failure to cooperate, the impermissible recruiting, failure to monitor, penalties, all took me back to 2011, 2012, when Sports Illustrated was asking the question, or posing the question, how deep it went in regards to Ohio State and Tatgate, something you are very familiar with. And at the onset of this, with Michigan being fined in excess of $30 million, but having that money come from 2 years of forfeiture for their postseason profits. So if Michigan this season and next season, they make the college football playoff or they go to the bowl game, all of that money goes to the NCAA. They get recruiting restrictions, of which the monetary value, so any money that would be spent for recruiting, any money that would be spent on scholarships, a percentage of those is going to the NCAA in lieu of actual fines. So they are fines, but they're fines for future allocations, future revenue. And now that you can share the revenue with your athletes, it does for the university become a matter of how do we, properly reallocate these funds. But what we know with Michigan football is that they can spend $10.5 million, the drop of a hat on a quarterback. The monetary thing, if it's $30 million, if it's $40 million, if it's $50 million spread out over a couple of years, doesn't affect them too much. So I'll just start there, Dane. when you heard the NCAA come down with fines, with no bowl bans, with no postseason penalties of any kind, with no vacating wins from those seasons that I mentioned, where the NCAA found Connor Stallions to be committing these infractions left and right to the tune of thousands of dollars spent on tickets to these games. Your initial thoughts were?
My initial expectations were so low. Eric, I truly thought this was done. I wasn't expecting anything. So that's where, when I heard about it, I was like, oh, wow, that's a lot. Truthfully. Like it is. And it's been diving back in, but my initial was like, all right, 30 million's not nothing. 10 years you can't work for us clearly says you did something wrong. I was like, whoa, that seems like a lot.
Here's the thing. Jim Harbaugh is...
Now, let me caveat that this is somebody who I don't have social media. Really, I have an Instagram that I checked like 2 months ago because people made me get it. But I don't, so I didn't know the atmosphere. I didn't know the chatter around the reaction of this. So I've since got into that, and I can definitely see those points, and we can unpack them. But my initial reaction was, okay, yeah, that seems like a punishment. That is not nothing.
Look, the NCAA handed down punishments. Now, I think they're lighter than slaps on the wrist, because you had Connor Stallions, the ringleader / mastermind of this. He got a 10-year show cause. His is 8, excuse me. Jim Harbaugh's is the 10-year show cause. Now, for Harbaugh, that 10-year show cause will go into effect after his 4-year show cause that he's currently serving for recruiting violations. So when I think about Harbaugh, he's never coming back to college football anyway. Like he's in his 60s. His last stop is with the Los Angeles Chargers right now. This doesn't affect him at all. You give him a 30-year show cause, a 40-year show cause, a 50-year show cause. Doesn't matter. The NFL is not going to uphold any of this. They don't care about this. And so with Sharon, a 2-year show cause for Michigan's head coach, a 3-game suspension, 2 of which he'll be serving this upcoming season in games not against Oklahoma. Michigan got to choose the games that Sharon Moore is going to be missing this season.
Oh, naturally. That's cool.
And then they're giving him an additional suspension for a game next season, the first game of the season, which Michigan will be playing directional Michigan in Frankfurt, Germany. So Sharon won't be traveling with the team over to Germany. And that's
the Sharon Moore punishment is the most absurd thing I've ever heard. It's ridiculous.
That's it.
What was handed down? They just said, you pick?
Well, Michigan,
I guess I should know.
Michigan initially just picked the games they wanted, and the NCAA said, okay, and you can't go to Germany next year.
Here's what angered me so much about it.
That is awesome. Eric, just enjoy that that's what happened.
And he is the first ever show cause where you can continue coaching. Every other time you've ever heard of a show cause, you cannot be with the team for years. And then we're like, you have to miss 3 games.
That's amazing.
I'm glad you find it hilarious. I found it maddening because when Jim Tressel got hit with the show cause.
Well, when you heard it first, that's the first time I heard it.
Well, that was the first time you'd heard the Sharon Moore thing?
Yeah, they put like that, yeah. Wow, okay, that's where we're at. We're just squinting to make this thing work at this point. We're just like, gosh, what do we do? What power do we have? I don't know. Let's move on. You pick which games you don't want to play. Don't make them too bad. We got a lot riding on you this year. Go get them. This guy that's never coming back anyway, he can never come back, so you're definitely not invited to our party. And you've got how much money? Okay, give us like 10% of that. Okay, let's move on. We got TV deals to make.
So the phrase that keeps coming into my mind, and it just keeps pounding into the front of my skull, is lack of institutional control. Because back in 2011, when Ohio State said we are going to vacate all of the wins from the 2010 season, I believe someone in my vicinity had about 1,000 yards receiving that year. Well, those stats aren't officially in the NCAA record book.
Good point.
Because Ohio State said, we'll self-impose this for 2010 and then hope that you don't do anything more. And the NCAA came in and said, how about in 2012, you can not play in the postseason?
Mm-hmm. And I was all set to be a first-round draft pick, and then they looked at my stats like, whoa, you had no yards your senior year? And then I went undrafted.
0 catches for 0 yards and 0 touchdowns.
That's actually how it went down.
I think you were an MVP of a team that never was.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So congratulations to the ground. I suppose.
Yeah, that's a lot of work for nothing.
But I think of you guys, and I look at the NCAA when they, in their ruling, said that they didn't want to punish current and future members of the Michigan football team because it was the coaching staff and it was members of the Michigan staff that aren't currently there that perpetrated all of this. And I go, well, no, Sharon's still there, and you had to use like tracking technology that the government uses to unearth text messages that he deleted between him and Connor Stallions. Like, what do you mean you don't want to punish these players? Some of them, most of them, are no longer with the program. I do understand that. But to say that you don't want to punish players in the future, when I know what you did in 2011, when you punished that 2012 team that for the most part had nothing to do with Tatgate. They were just on an Ohio State team that happened to be on the receiving end of because the NCAA wanted to make an example of them.
Well, and I think these are two different worlds, though. And I'm far from in the camp of
so I think
the
you're
NCAA.
Right there. Yeah.
And that obviously you can. I don't think Ohio State would be punished the way they were, obviously, in today's world. And I think if this happens in 2011, it's much different for Michigan, too.
Probably, yes.
So there's some sick level that I'm like, okay, I can at least they're not. It would be foolish if they just did a 2011 version punishment, I think. And I don't think that punishment was right then. So I'm not about the 15 years later. Well, what about that? You did that. So I didn't buy into that because if it was wrong then, I don't want you to do another wrong one. This is probably closer to a punishment that is fitting the crime.
This directly impacts on-field play, like the integrity of the game, which is what I kept hearing from leaders in the sport.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
This flies in the face of that. Tatgate did not, in my opinion.
So the NCAA said they didn't want to punish current players by instituting a bowl ban. The University of Akron is currently serving a bowl ban this season because a couple of players were academically ineligible in 2023 when it was legal.
So the overarching point is if you peel too far into this, you either have to make the decision whether you are just going to enjoy this for the entertainment or you are going to try to pick it apart and make sense of it. Or you have really two options. Picking it apart and make sense of it is probably just going to drive yourself insane. So unless you have fun with that, great. Otherwise, either you don't watch because you say, this is just gross. I'm out on this. Or you say, okay, look at that. Look at those guys up there. They're running around catching balls, and this is fun. I like this. But I think we're past a point that it's like there's a big, deeper expectation of what's going on. Because even the people involved are on some level making stuff up to make this whole college amateurism football thing work.
They're clinging to amateurism.
It is. They're just trying to mold things, and
it's just not working. The NCAA are duty heads. I'll explain a little bit more in 2 minutes. It's Sports Saturday on The Fan.
Common Man here. Our friends at Care Heating and Cooling in Lenox are feeling the love. They're doing something extraordinary for Central Ohio families. The Lenox Feel the Love program provides deserving families and individuals with indoor heating and cooling equipment as well as installation at no cost. You can nominate someone who you think is deserving at feelthelove.com. Nominations will be accepted through August 31st. Let's give back to our hometown heroes. Selfless neighbor, maybe who always puts everybody first. Community leaders like teachers, firefighters, and volunteers, or just families facing hard times. Whoever you think is worthy, send a nomination. As of 2024, the Feel the Love program has completed more than 350 installations with help of dealers like Care Heating and Cooling. Our friends at Lenox donate all the equipment, and Care donates the labor and materials, and the installs are done at no cost. Remember, the deadline is August 31st. Care Heating and Cooling. Call 1-800-COOLING or book an appointment online at careheatingandcooling.com when you need a company you can trust.
Hi, I'm Rick Germain, and it's the Toyota National Sales Event all month long at Toyota West. With over 600 new and pre-owned vehicles available, Toyota West at I-270 and Georgesville Road has the car you're looking for. And right now at Toyota West, take advantage of no payments for 90 days, and every pre-owned vehicle comes with a 72-hour exchange policy plus a 3-month warranty for qualified vehicles. Come see us at the Germain Auto Mall on Georgesville Road or get started today at ToyotaWest.com. No payments for 90 days. Deferred payment. Interest accrued at time of inception with approved credit. Expires 8/31.
The Ohio Lottery's Powerball jackpot has soared to $565 million. That's $565 million. Imagine what you could do with a win that big. With drawings every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday, Powerball jackpots grow faster, and they're bigger than ever. Play today.
Check it.
And don't forget to pick up a cash word scratch-off while you're at it to extend the fun. With tickets from $2 to $30, there's a cash word for everyone. Visit your favorite retailer today. Lottery players are subject to Ohio Laws and Commission regulations. Play responsibly.
Here's a quick 10-second reminder that the Buckeyes have won the Natty. Also, we air all the games, and we always will. Thank you. Your home of the Buckeyes, The Fan. Instead of annoying national people talking to you this weekend, we've opted for annoying local people. This is Fan Sports Saturday.
Yes, it is. Eric Reiser, Dane Sanzenbacher. So I had to look up the 5 stages of grief in the break because as a diehard Ohio State fan, in my more formative years, in the Jim Tressel era were my formative years. And so I bled scarlet and gray. When you work in it, you become less of a fan because you just see it through such a different lens. But yesterday's news took me back to that time where I wasn't working in college football. I wasn't working in covering Ohio State football. I was a diehard fan, and I was as diehard as it got. And I remember just being so angry that it was, in my opinion, so unfair what the NCAA did to Ohio State and what they did to the players in 2012, what they did to the players in the 2010 team, and what they did to Jim Tressel and what they did to Terrell Pryor and kind of making their punishments follow them to the NFL, that all of this yesterday brought back those feelings for me.
I was going to say that. It's like Jim Tressel and Terrell Pryor had to serve suspensions in the NFL for what they did.
Correct.
And Jim Harbaugh is just going to coach.
How about the NFL upholding those? What is that?
The NFL enforced, put them into place.
Yes. I know. And the NFL and the Los Angeles Chargers had zero comment yesterday when asked by several networks.
So I laugh about some of this. There is a part so obviously our lieutenant governor landed on his feet. But
doing pretty well for himself.
Yeah, but there were some, Terrell should be seriously upset, justified in being upset about this. And yes, at the time, you're like, you broke the rules. Here were the punishment. You can't do this. Look back at it. But we do have the benefit of seeing this. And because of those punishments, and that's what the system was, how much the kid couldn't get drafted. He had to go in a supplemental draft. He did okay. He made some rosters, but
1,000 yards receiving for the Browns one year.
But if you're a first-round draft pick, what's that signing bonus? And he probably could have been, whether it was going to be for as just an athlete or a quarterback. Now, I know you're like, oh, well, poor him. He ended up making however many millions anyway. I get it. But that's real impact on people that is not nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, so you have an impact on people's livelihoods by these decisions. So that goes furthermore towards yes, this is a light. I don't even think it's that light because what else would you want? It is hilarious.
I love how,
I was still laughing.
For context,
off air,
Dane did not know that Michigan got to choose 2 games this season for Sharon Moore to be suspended, and then the NCAA just added an extra game next season. But it's the first game when they're going to Germany to play Central Directional Michigan.
Yeah, I don't even want to know any more details on it that might explain it better because I want it to live just how I am understanding it right now.
Pretty much explained it as it is.
Then it's perfect. It's just real good.
As it goes with the 5 stages of grief yesterday, I was in the anger phase because it brought back all of those feelings that I had in 2011 and how unfair I thought and still think it was that 2012 just got a postseason ban because that to me was just the NCAA. And I've always maintained that you never want to be the guy or team that sets the example in those situations because they made an example of Ohio State, or at least the NCAA tried to. This flies in the face of that, what they did yesterday with Michigan. Now, understanding that we're in 2 very different eras of college athletics, what we considered bad behavior back then is laughable now.
Well, look,
and it's allowed now.
Well, at that time, they're making these decisions and punishments trying to protect something completely different.
I agree.
They're trying to protect this idea. They had to make decisions because the whole thing fed or was hinging on this idea of amateurism.
Yep.
So they had to send messages. They were bumping up all of their departments at all the universities to make sure everybody was compliant. They were cracking down hard if people were like sleeping on the wrong couch, if they were getting tattoos, if they, whatever it may be, all of it. They were getting help on tests. They were like, they need to send this message because our business hinges on this. Now, they're more falling in line with what a professional sports league would do, and that is the business hinges on the product. So, like, even the Houston Astros, like, okay, whatever we do to punish them for cheating, sign stealing, we're not going to postseason ban them because our product is the baseball on the field. Yeah. And it's not even need them. You don't want anything to disrupt what is happening in your season. You've got ticket sales built on it. You've got schedules made. So it's falling more in line with a postseason ban. Like, why would you, as an institution, do something that is going to fly in the face of what your product is? So it's all part of this shift into something that it has not been and never was. And everybody has their different stages of grief of dealing with it. I think maybe I got to acceptance a little bit faster, but I go back. My grief goes in cycles.
I think
I don't know if that was part of it. You're supposed to be like acceptance and then done.
Yeah.
I like go back to anger and then start over.
Yep.
So maybe I'm in it right now.
That's the roller coaster ride I do think Ohio State fans have been on for the past 24 hours and will continue. I think however you feel right now as an Ohio State fan, whether it is anger, bargaining, depression, acceptance, or still denial, you're validated in feeling that way because I will, to your point about the eras of college football, that we're in a completely different one now than we were in 2011. Jim Tressel misled the NCAA. Like, he lied. And they wanted to make an example of him, and they did what they thought was making the example of him. And that's wildly different than the Jim Harbaugh-led Michigan program, which was lie, deny. What is compliance? If you look at Harbaugh's tenure now with this 74-page report coming out, he maybe ran one of the dirtier programs since the year 2000. But they got a national championship from it, and they will not be taking any of that away from them.
So that's another part of you try not to get too philosophical, but you look at like, okay, then what is college football? What's the main deal of it? And it has also shifted to winning is all that matters. Winning is all that matters.
Yes.
And, that takes fans looking in the mirror. That takes boosters, donors, universities looking in the mirror. But right now, that's what that says is, I don't care what you do, stand for, who coaches, who's on the field, what character, what we stand for, any of that, because I'm not willing to lose to uphold those things. We have to win. We have to win to keep this thing going, and we will win. And so that's just where it is. And that this message, we already kind of knew it. That's where we are with college football.
If you're Michigan and you see the NCAA's kind of feckless reaction to all this, what's to stop you from hiring Connor Stallions on Monday and saying, do something about it?
Nothing. You're just looking at it as like, would the optics be worth it?
They don't care about the optics. They're celebrating Jim Harbaugh in a couple of weeks.
I mean, it's all part of us. Like, getting to see if you look at it as a professional institution, if you looked at it like the Cleveland Browns doing weird things, you're just like,
hey,
the NCAA can't ban.
Shot for.
We'll get there.
They can't legally ban someone from being in Michigan Stadium. The NCAA, like, what are they actually going to do about it?
They will do nothing. Here's what's funny. Here's what was the funniest thing to me from yesterday is that Michigan is going to appeal the NCAA's ruling. And in the statement, the university says, we appreciate the work of the Committee for Infractions, but respectfully, in a number of instances, the decision makes fundamental errors in interpreting NCAA bylaws, and it includes a number of conclusions that are directly contrary to the evidence or lack of evidence in the record. We will appeal this decision to ensure a fair result.
Friggin' nerds.
The Michigan man lives in a different plane of reality than the rest of us.
Actually, by this bylaw, shut up.
I saw from Tony Gerdeman of Buckeye Huddle. The NCAA released the report around noon Eastern yesterday, and then at 1 o'clock held a Zoom press conference for some reason. And the Committee on Infractions took questions. And Whitney Harding, who works for Channel 4 locally, asked the question, is there any concern that this sets a precedent of encouraging schools to not comply? The answer that she was given was the COI, the Committee on Infractions, would be very disappointed if that's how they viewed this. This is all a joke.
Ryan Day should send a coach to every single Michigan game this season.
Here's the thing with that, because I did see a lot of that from Buckeye fans, is what's stopping Ohio State from dismantling their compliance department and just putting all their money away so that if fines come, Ohio State's ready to pay them, breaking all the rules. Ohio State doesn't have to stoop to this level because they played by the rules, at least as far as we know, and they paid by the rules last season, and it got them a national championship. So where I do invite Ohio State fans to feel how you feel, but walk with me towards acceptance, because in 14 days, this doesn't really matter. This might not matter in 10 days. This might not matter Monday if when Ryan Day takes the podium, he'll be asked about this. And I'm sure his answer will largely be, we're focused on Texas, man. I don't care about this. And I believe that the truth 1,000%.
Yeah, well, I think they can both be true. You can look at the system as a whole and have your questions and be outraged, and then still, the individuals that are at the universities now making the best of what they can do. And hey, we've got this coming up. We've got this game. The rules are what they are. These guys can't afford to be worrying about this. But I mean, I don't know. I think I'm changing a stage of grief too. I think you took me from acceptance back to anger by just going here with this.
Well, I'm going to keep going with Dane on this roller coaster with a little bit more from the Committee on Infractions and their ruling yesterday, and some of the evidence that Michigan doesn't think is being fairly used against them. That's next. It's Sports Saturday on The Fan.
We're the highest rated sports radio station in America. There's no joke there. We just are. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
The trash talk, the bad trade requests, the horrible reaches on draft picks. It's fantasy football time, and the ESPN Bet Sportsbook at Hollywood Casino Columbus is giving you a chance to hold your fantasy draft in a fantasy location. On August 24th, host your fantasy draft party at the ESPN Bet Sportsbook, which will include a $100 dining credit, draft board, and swag. Visit 971thefan.com and sign up for your fantasy draft party package. Must be 21 years or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER for help.
Save big money on your next project now at Menards. Don't let an outdated garage door define your home. Revamp your home's appearance with a new ideal garage door. Choose from our large in-stock selection or design your own using our free Garage Door Designer. Hurry in and save big money on your next project. Plus, check out our weekly flyer on Menards.com for all the great deals happening now.
Save big money at Menards.
Hi, welcome to IKEA. Hi, I'm in a whirlwind of college prep. Gotcha. We've got affordable solutions to create the perfect college living space. Great. And visit our website to see how verified college students with an IKEA family account can receive a one-time use 15% off coupon. Nice. You guys think of everything. Pretty much. Offer ends 9/30/25. Valid ID required. Discount applied proportionally across items purchased as shown on receipt. See IKEA-USA.com/ready-for-college for complete terms.
Let me ask you something. Is your money doing everything it can for you?
I don't know. How would I know?
Is it automatically saving for special events and keeping you posted on its progress? Like at Huntington Bank?
Oh, no.
Is it tracking your spending so you can make the best choices at the mall?
Nope.
Or setting limits on your teenager's debit card?
Definitely not.
Then it could certainly be doing more.
Yeah, sure sounds like it.
Let's get more from money. Switch to Huntington Bank. Welcome. Eligibility requirements apply. Some features may require enrollment.
Attention Columbus foodies. Are you a smoker of mouth-watering chicken wings? Then bring the heat to the Grove City Smokin' Hot Wing and Music Fest, presented by American Nitro. First place wins $1,000. But more importantly, bragging rights. It's all going down Saturday, October 4th with wings, beer, music, and more. Sign up your team today at americannitro.com/wingfest. Don't wait. Spots are filling up smoking fast. Wingfest supports local causes like Southwest Career Academy, Ghosts of War, and Gigi's. Let's wing it for a great cause. Sign your team up today.
When it comes to your roofing, siding, or gutter needs, call Newman Roofing. 614-NEW-ROOF. NewmanRoofing.com.
Discover uncompromising quality at a reliable price with Giant Eagle in Market District. Look for signs throughout the store highlighting lower prices. Surround yourself with savings at Giant Eagle. Experience value like never before. Visit Giant Eagle today to see how easy it is to save.
All your favorite fan shows are on YouTube, along with those fake YouTube ads like Chew This Gum and It Grows New Teeth. Experience the splendor of Bo sitting in his closet, Timmy Hall's gouty gold chains, and Matty Ice wearing a coat in 90-degree weather. It's all there. Head to YouTube and subscribe today.
The season may be winding down, but there's still time to make the most of Buckeye Lake. At Buckeye Lake Marina, we have year-end deals on boats, accessories, and more to get you ready for next year's adventures. The Buckeye Lake Marina staff is there to help you find the perfect boat at unbeatable prices. Buckeye Lake Marina has a long list of satisfied customers, and you want to be the next. Don't wait. Sail into savings at Buckeye Lake Marina before the year ends and find the boat that's just right for you. Visit BuckeyeLakeMarina.com for more.
Cash for Clunkers continues during the Honda Summer Event at Lindsay Honda.
Listen up, Columbus. Cash for Clunkers is big money towards your next ride.
Up to $3,500 minimum for your trade.
Use it for the down payment, negative equity, or keep the cash.
Lease a new 2025 HR-V two-wheel drive LX or 2026 Civic four-door LX for just $299 a month. Zero cash down. Just bring us your clunker. Shop Lindsay Honda, the big Honda store now. For details, visit lindsayhonda.com.
At Logan Services, we're more than heating and air. We're a family-owned business that puts people first. For decades, we've built our reputation on honesty, hard work, and treating your home like it's our own. From the first phone call to the final handshake, you'll work with a caring, local team that shows up on time and does the job right. Because comfort isn't about temperature, it's about integrity. Logan Services, family-owned, people-focused, and proud to serve its customers.
I can't wait to meet her. Oh my gosh.
Put your hands together for new Dr. Pepper Blackberry and Dr. Pepper Blackberry Zero Sugar.
There she is! Woohoo! Yeah! It's full Dr. Pepper!
With sweet blackberry flavor!
Dr. Pepper Blackberry, I'm obsessed with your succulent taste. Please marry me!
No! Marry me! Marry me or I'm gonna freak out!
Try new Dr. Pepper Blackberry.
It's a pepper thing!
All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Sports talk, weekend style. You're listening to Fan Sports Saturday.
Yes, you are. Eric Reiser, Dane Sanzenbacher rolling along until 1 o'clock this afternoon. We're going to step aside at 1 p.m. for the penultimate Buckeye replay of this offseason. They'll have Ohio State and Texas from the 2025 Cotton Bowl Classic. I won't spoil how that game went for Ohio State, but one of the more memorable defensive plays in the history of the Ohio State program that's played at the Horseshoe since 1922. Next week, of course, the Buckeye replay that will be presented to you will be the national championship tilt from this past January. Ryan Day has said that Ohio State's not looking to defend the national championship. They're looking to attack the national championship, and I think that's a good mindset to have as the Buckeyes are 14 days out from their game against Texas. We're going to do some more Michigan throughout the program, but it would be, I think, irresponsible of us to not have talked about the Committee on Infractions and their ruling on Michigan in a 3-year investigation from the Connor Stallions sign-stealing scandal. So I talked about that press conference that they had via Zoom yesterday. From Norman Bay, the chief hearing officer for the NCAA's Committee on Infractions, said that the true scope and scale of the sign-stealing scheme, including the competitive advantage it afforded, will never be fully known due to individuals' intentional destruction and withholding of materials and information. But the intent was clear, to gain a substantial competitive advantage. He continues, you don't put together a network of individuals called the KGB that records what they call dirty film, where the cost of doing this is in the tens of thousands of dollars over 3 seasons, unless you intend to gain a substantial competitive advantage. So Connor Stallions and his little sign-stealing buddies called themselves the KGB.
So cool.
Now, why would you do that unless you were trying to take part in nefarious actions? Because we don't look at the KGB and go, hey, great group of guys there.
Russians do.
Do they?
Actually, good point. Some of them do, yeah.
Some, I'm sure. The president of the country is a KGB agent.
Yeah.
He was just in America a couple days ago, or a day ago.
I think I don't know. There's a world where you could look at that and this that's just a kind of a goofy, silly thing to do. And maybe this guy was just clearly obsessed with Michigan.
Oh, he was.
And all these weird things. And the same way a group of teenagers would call themselves the KGB if they were doing something on Fortnite might be the same thing.
Yeah.
There's just because you name it something doesn't mean it had a real impact. Not me defending these guys.
Flossing in a battle royale is a little bit different when you are going to the lengths that Connor Stallions went to as a former naval intelligence officer with a full understanding of exactly what the KGB is and what the KGB was. He's comparing himself to the network of Russian intelligence operatives that perpetuated in the Cold War for 50 years.
So he is saying that this was wrong. This is vindication. This is not a nothing to see here by Mr. Norman Bay.
Well, Michigan says that everything was misinterpreted.
That's the rub there. I mean, there's the whole part of this is like, we've said, like, what is stopping them from X? What is stopping school from X? And the truth is not a lot. And that's kind of been the case with college sports, but that's also like on some level, that's sports. And what I think Michigan is missing here, both as a university and as a fan base, well, we can say, okay, yeah, this, whatever, let's move on. Not a big deal. But the whole point of sports is you agree upon terms and you play to those terms. Cheating will always be a part of sports. People are always trying to get an edge. You have to draw a clear line of what it is. But there is, if you do go there, well, okay, there is a punishment, but it also says a lot about you. Like, that's the whole point. There is, at least the magic of college sports was that there was this, what's stopping you? I don't know, the integrity of the game. That's the key phrase. Enough? Is integrity enough to stop me? Because, like, yes, you can say, okay, Ohio State fans are just whining. Okay, yeah, we probably care about it more than the rest. But the whole point is to not cheat. You win. You can do your advantage up to the absolute max. But cheating is a different thing. And if you were in a spot where you wanted this so bad that you were willing to put this thing together to cheat in order to get it, okay, sure, have your wins, have your national championship, but like at some point, like especially at the college level, these rules are built into pro sports, but especially at the college level, all of these teams, universities need to be able to, because they are kind of self-governed. You have to say yes, yes, we want to win, but we don't want to win like that. And I see less and less of that, less and less in the current landscape of somebody going to say, well, we don't want to win like that because that's a step too far. Nate said earlier, what's stopping them from? Nothing. Nothing. There's not a lot stopping the universities from paying max amounts all in the name of winning. Maybe that's just where we're at, but that, I think, is what hits people as one of the more gross parts of it.
I mean, you can say it's a bad thing to do it, but Jim Harbaugh is now a Michigan legend. They, quote-unquote, have the best team of all time. They still have their national title, and Jim Harbaugh is being paid millions of dollars in the NFL. So what's the advantage of not doing it that way?
I would say, to that point,
integrity.
So, yes.
Call me naive.
No,
Call me a dreamer.
I don't think, well.
I'm not the only one.
Gosh, if we could play songs on YouTube, I'd have that piano.
I would have it up immediately.
I do think that for Ohio State, and that's just the one I'll speak to, there is the integrity that comes in the current administration, Ryan Day and his staff, that we can win the right way. And they did it this past season. And so I think a lot of colleges look at this and say, we can win that way. Now, yes, financial incentives are now a part of the game. Something wildly different from the 2000s, the 2010s. But I do think most schools, and even to a lesser extent at this point, Michigan, will look at stuff like this and look at cheating on this kind of scale and say, no, we're not interested in doing that. We're going to win the right way. Because it is something, and this is going to be maybe a little sappy, that you're going to have to look at yourself in the mirror 10 years from now. And I know Jim Harbaugh, being the ultimate hypocrite, will not. And the Michigan man generally lives in their own reality where nobody is above the Michigan man. In fact, the Michigan man is above all. But for an Ohio State player like a Jack Sawyer, he can look at himself in the mirror and said, we won the right way. He will never have to answer questions about the integrity of their national championship, as will Aiden Hutchinson have to, as will Blake Corum have to.
Well, yes, these are different kinds of things, but it's all, especially the way this system is built up. And this is why I say, like, you can dissect it all day long or you can accept it, because you could be, give me any mid-tier Big Ten school.
Iowa.
Okay, well, how is it fair we don't have $20 million to build a roster? Is that fair? Where's the integrity there? And if I'm into other schools, yeah, I would be saying that. Now, we're very lucky to be there, and the rules say we can, so we're not cheating. But there's a whole swath of inequality in the sport. So, like, as much as you're good, you could always find an avenue to be like, they won it fair and square. Okay, they had the best players and a $20-some million roster. Yeah, so did others, but you're really only competing against like 10 to 15 top programs. Yeah. The rest don't have a chance. So it's like, enjoy this for what it is, but like there's always going to be an angle to say, what was that? So that's why I say big picture, winning can't be the only thing, because if winning is the only thing in college sports, you've got a silly sport. You've got something that is not quite fair or should be about just winning.
And the flip side too, Jack Sawyer is never going to have questions about his integrity. The other thing he's going to hear forever is, yeah, but you never beat Michigan. These Michigan teams.
What would you think would be more important? I mean, I know beating Michigan's almost above all, but a nice shiny national championship ring, I think, will make him sleep a little easier, to your point, not having beaten Michigan. But for this Ohio State team, we now look forward to 14 days, Buckeyes, Longhorns, Ohio Stadium, and also beat the hell out of Michigan on November 29th. We'll do some ball next. It's Sports Saturday on The Fan.
Catch the latest from the world of Ohio State athletics. Weeknights at 6 on the Buckeye Show. News, special guests, and everything scarlet and gray. The Fan.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use? Now what?
I had a friend that went to my computer career.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu. My Computer Career, an elite CompTIA certification partner.
It worked for me, and I know it can work for you.
This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
Hey there, friends. Bo Bishop here. Looking for bold flavors and award-winning spirits? High Bank Distillery Co. is your destination for handcrafted cocktails, locally inspired dishes, and Whiskey War, the nationally recognized whiskey. Whether you're going for brunch, dinner, or just a drink, High Bank brings the perfect mix of craft and comfort. Stop by their Grandview, Gahanna, and Westerville locations this week. Dine, drink, distill at High Bank Distillery Co., where great spirits meet even better company. Learn more at highbankco.com.
Get Eco.
Aaron?
Yeah, Jerry?
Do you know what I like best about our plumbers?
Tell me.
No matter how difficult, no matter how messy, no matter what it takes, they just dive right in and fix it.
Get Eco.
They dive right in.
Yes, they dive right in.
We've got scuba diving plumbers.
Get Eco.
You know they don't literally dive in, right?
Well, of course not. Not yet, anyway. The pipes are too small.
Get Eco.
They won't be able to literally dive in until I finish inventing my eco miniaturizing ray.
But until then, our plumbers will just keep on figuratively diving right in.
Yes, that would be best.
Jerry, do you know what I like best about our plumbers?
Tell me.
They're so good at their job, they make it look easy.
Get Eco. Get Eco.
Scuba diving plumbers, genius electricians, and better than average HVAC technicians.
GetEco.com.
Colin Mann here for Universal Windows Direct. Are your leaky windows costing you money? Yes, they are. Right now, when you call my guys at Universal Windows Direct, you get payments as low as $99 a month or 12 months with no payments and no interest. Seriously, upgrade your home now and relax until next year. Call now and get a free in-home window and energy assessment. Choose the payment plan that's right for you. 614-502-5220 or go to universalwindowsdirect.com. Like me, you'll be saying, I love my windows.
Spend Labor Day weekend at Great American Ballpark. Cheer on the Reds when they face the Cardinals in a 3-game set August 29th through the 31st. Enjoy a fantastic post-game fireworks show on Friday presented by Toyota. Saturday, fans in attendance will receive a Hunter Green bobblehead featuring the Reds ace with his French Bulldog Ross, thanks to Tri-Health while supplies last. Bring the whole crew on Sunday and enjoy some afternoon baseball. Visit Reds.com/tickets today.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports Center.
And I'm Nate Puterball. The Cleveland Browns return to action today for their second preseason game. They're in Philadelphia to take on the Eagles this afternoon at 1. Dylan Gabriel is expected to make his Browns debut, with Shedeur Sanders also expected to see playing time. The Reds blew an 8-1 lead last night, losing to the Brewers 10-8. The Brewers tied a franchise record with their 13th consecutive win. Game 2 of their series is tonight at 6:40. Christian Yelich of the Brewers taking on Zach Littell. Catch the action tonight on The Fan. And the Cleveland Guardians look to bounce back after getting blanked by the Braves last night 2-0. Hurston Waldrop threw 6 scoreless innings for the Braves in the win. They'll square off again tonight at 7:10 with Joey Wentz taking on the Guardians' Slade Ciccone. And Columbus Crew SC return to action tonight at Lower.com Field. They'll take on Toronto FC at 7:30. Breaking sports news when it happens on The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
During weekend programming, pants are optional.
Look at my butt!
However, leather chairs may have been a bad choice. You're listening to Fan Sports Saturday.
Yeah, leather chairs in this weather. No thanks. Eric Reiser, Dane Sanzenbacher, keeping these seats wonderfully warm for the next 2 hours. Your Sports Saturday is spectacular. 2 weeks out from Ohio State and Texas. The chairs that you guys get for the Fans pregame show, that'll be Saturday, August 30th at 6 a.m. are pretty good. We had them 2 weeks ago at Ohio State's fall camp. Those are decent chairs to do radio in.
It's at 6:30, isn't it? Am I going to show up way
It's
too
a noon
early?
kick. 6:30 will be the start time. You're right.
But I should get there at 6, and I shouldn't be squilling in like I do to this show with 5 minutes to go, and I'm locked out of the building because I forgot my fob.
The show begins at 9 or 10. If you are here at 10, you are on time. I don't ever buy into the if you're on time, you're late. If you're early or on time. No, the show starts at 10. The Fans pregame show or the pregame show will start at 6:30 Saturday morning. If you are in your seat, the wonderful camping chair at 6:30 with the microphone ready to go,
so long as I'm
you
there
are on time.
When Maddie or DeVere is ready to ask me something.
That's true.
Then I have not
If you're DeVere, it might be more like 10:01.
Yeah. But it hasn't disrupted the show because there's an intro and then there's host talking for a little bit, so you have a buffer. As long as you don't interrupt. If we get to a point where we needed to send it to you and you're not there, now you've disrupted the show.
Maddie will give you, a little bit of a buffer, setting the scene for what's going to be the college football circus to open the 2025 season in an unofficial capacity. You do have games in week 0. Like Farmageddon between Kansas State and Iowa State. It is a top 25 matchup. I think Iowa State's 22nd, Kansas State's 17th in the AP preseason top 25. So that game will be in Dublin, Ireland. So for those two fan bases, boy, I don't know how that would be.
Both top 25.
Yeah. Iowa State extending Matt Campbell only forever. And then Kansas State, yeah. The Big 12 is probably the most wide open of the Power 4 of the ACC, the SEC, the Big 10. The Big 12 has probably got the most teams that you would say, I could see them winning the thing. Arizona State won it last year. If you're thinking to yourself, wait, Arizona State's in the Big 12? Same. It's just what college football is now. You've got 2 national conferences in the ACC, the Atlantic Coast Conference, and in the Big 10. Because the Big 10 goes from sea to shining sea, as does the Atlantic Coast Conference with members Stanford and Cal.
It's beautiful.
It's a wonderful thing. That's why we love it so much. This is one of several reminders I'll try to give you throughout the day. Is what we try to do here on the Saturday Spectacular is entertain. We talk ball because we are ball knowers, but we also want to inform our audience in the greater Central Ohio area. So tomorrow is the Grandview Half Marathon, Quarter Marathon, and 5K, and that'll take place in the Grandview Yard area, right off of what would be Olentangy River Road and 3rd Avenue. If you're familiar with the Grandview Yard area of town. they're going to do what would be a half marathon, quarter marathon through UA, Marble Cliff, and into Grandview. So just plan your Sunday morning accordingly. They'll start at 7 o'clock. So if you're looking, and even down here where we are at Twin Rivers, it's going to be busy. So plan your morning accordingly, but also give grace if you are driving in a road that's partitioned off to where they have some runners. Just, safe speeds, please. Talking back and forth with Rusty in the YouTube chat. And we thank you to everybody that's interacting with us in the YouTube chat. But he asks if I was going to be running tomorrow. I have no interest in running in August in 90-degree weather.
Especially when you just said, like, as far as Columbus goes, or Ohio, not many hills. Grandview is probably among the more hilly options. There's a couple there. Like, there's not many hills you can find in Columbus.
Grandview is,
depending on where they routed that. Yeah, you could have a tough half marathon.
And so I went back with Rusty and asked him if he was going to be running. He says, no, it's going to be really hot. And this is great from him. I have no desire to sweat like Adam King, realizing he left work with his browser open, not deleting the history. It's a good little visual. Because I remember when we did our 971 the race back in June, Adam King decided to do a 5K in a suit. And it was about as hot then as it is now. And if you've walked outside at any point this morning, it's very humid. So him trying to run a 5K in a suit, I lost track of him, and he ran with Cole Bartimas. And I caught up with Adam only because he was sitting under a tree, sweating profusely. And I thought to myself, he's going to die of heat stroke. And so I ran further a little bit to a water station and brought him back water. But his coat went off pretty early. Like, hydration is key in all aspects of life. Like today, if you're just going to be out, hydrate. But especially if you're going to be running a 5K in a suit, it's a good job out of him because he finished, but barely.
What a solid local sports guy bit.
I know how.
That's amazing.
It was a lot of commitment to it.
That's how you do it.
I know how you are with those kinds of runs. Like, why would people pay to go?
No, I'm not. I've done it. And I accidentally let that slip last time we interviewed I know what you're getting at.
We had the race director of the Cap City Half Marathon, David Babner, who M3S is also putting on at Muirfield. M3S is also responsible for the Grandview half and quarter and 5K. And Dane said, I forget how you phrased it.
Well, I worked in news for a little bit, so I'm just trying to come up with, I've interviewed people. I'm trying to come up with like questions that are like going to get to like an answer. And for some reason it came out like, are you ever surprised that people choose to subject themselves to this pain for no apparent reason and just run around? And he looked at me as if like, why did you just come at my whole
business model?
Why did you do that? He took it very well though. So
of course he did.
It was a real question. I was just like, I've done 5Ks. I think they're fun events, but it's a funny phenomenon too.
All right, put on your journalism hat real quick.
Okay.
If on Monday around 11:30, when Ryan Day speaks following their practice. Now, they're scrimmaging today, and this will probably be the last time they scrimmage as a team, because when you get to next Saturday, you're talking about walking up to game week. And Monday, they'll have practice, and probably a lot of that will be, we have a better idea of who our quarterback is. Maybe we're not ready to announce it yet. If you had the first question, Mr. Sanzenbacher, we'll go to you. First question for Ryan Day Monday morning would be?
Ooh.
Put you on the spot there. But I'm interested to see where you think that interview should start.
I think going right to, hey, who's your quarterback is a little too on the nose.
Yeah. Would you Tim May it and be like, who's your backup?
Ooh. Hey, man. Hey, quick question for you.
Two-parter.
Hey, two-parter. Yeah, first part matters. Second part doesn't. Yeah, I think I would say, how do you plan to, has there been any working into a 2-quarterback model as you go throughout the season? We've seen this work before in college where you kind of let both play.
Yeah.
I think you could put some feet to the fire with that type of, because you could say like, well, if you're not, then what?
Well, I do think
again, that's let me reiterate that I am not in camp of you must tell me now.
No.
I am fine if I have to wait until I see who joins the huddle at noon to run out. I'm completely fine with that. Eric, you got to embrace the entertainment factor.
Brother, you're in the minority.
You got to embrace.
You would have Ohio State fans very concerned.
Why?
You can't do the Urban Meyer thing like in 2015 where he went into the huddle and pointed at Cardale.
Why?
That does not set a season up for success, in my opinion, because you can't have that kind of uncertainty looming in a game like Texas. Now,
it's not uncertain to them. It's just uncertain to us. It's still not uncertain to them. It's just a matter of when you're going to tell us. I don't think you owe us that answer.
It's probably 60, if I had a percentage on it, like 65, 70% confirmed one guy in terms of the team, great knowers of ball, the coaches, even greater knowers of ball, who the starter's going to be for Texas.
You know this information?
I don't know this information. I'm guessing.
Oh.
If I came on this program and said, well, we're just going to have to wait it play out. Then go for 3 hours. It'd be terrible radio.
Yeah. No.
So I'm knowing what I do about Ohio State's coaching staff and the players is you can't fool the locker room is the phrase that's used only all the time and by me a lot. So I think after the scrimmage today, they get an even better sense of who the guy's going to be to lead them into the breach against top-ranked Texas. But the way you phrase that
that's
question,
what I would ask then. Did you learn anything from the scrimmage that you didn't know before?
It's a great way to go.
Thank you.
But also to the quarterback situation where you have two guys who I think you have great faith in to lead you to victory. But also the idea that maybe there could be a 2-quarterback system, and also the idea that because it's you want to play 17 games this season. Like you want to compete for that Big Ten championship and you want to compete for the national championship. You're going to need the other guy at some point because in case of emergent, like injuries are going to happen. This was from this past Monday where Ryan Day had talked about having both quarterbacks and the need they have for them to be ready at any and all situations.
Well, we have 2 guys that are getting the reps, so that's good. It's not like we're getting 3 or 4. And there's so many reps in practice. You know, we've taken that into consideration. We're trying to get both guys ready to go win the game. I think we have to have them both ready to play in that first game. And then, again, as we get closer here, you know, we'll name a starter and go from there. But we're going to need them both. And that's the goal right now is just to get them both ready to go, figure out what they can do. That's similar. Try to figure out what they can do that's different from each other. And then so that they can go play well in this first game because this will be their first start. Yeah, I mean, Lincoln played in the bowl game, but he didn't start, and and Julian's never started a game. So we got to make sure we're giving them things that they can do that fit their skill set.
Yeah, unfair to put that cotton ball on Lincoln because he didn't prepare to be the starter for that game, and that wasn't a serious operation. I don't think at that time. I think a lot of the staff and the players were kind of just done anyway.
Recall the game you're referring.
The Cotton Bowl against Missouri.
No, nothing.
Yeah, it would be good, I think, if you could just neuralize Buckeye fans for the memory of that. I gotta
tell you, Eric, I'm just drawing a blank.
Yeah,
completely.
it's totally fine. So we'll never talk about it again. It doesn't need to be mentioned. Both of these quarterbacks need to have that kind of equal footing going into the 2025 season. But I do think, to Ryan Day's point of we got to have a guy. Because you need to then, once you have the guy, establish everybody else around him. Because outside of Jeremiah Smith, most positions, I would say, went into fall camp in a battle. We'll get into a couple of those next. It's Sports Saturday on The Fan.
The only workplace in America to participate in the Doorknob Fart Game. And we also play office basketball and sometimes do radio. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Enjoy hot deals on Meijer brand back-to-school must-haves all season long. Save on breakfast favorites like Meijer Toasted Oats Honey Nut Cereal, select varieties of Meijer pastry treats, Meijer Sweet and Salty Granola Bars, and Meijer Applesauce, each for only $1.79. Save on lunchtime essentials like Meijer Peanut Butter, Meijer Grape Jelly, and Meijer Round Top Bread, just $1.39 each. Saving a good deal more on your favorite Meijer brand must-haves is a good deal better all season long. Exclusions apply. See all deals in the Meijer app.
The dog days are the best days to save at Coughlin Kia, Central Ohio's largest volume Kia dealer. Get 0% financing on any new Kia EV, Sportage, or Sorrento, or 1.9% on a new 25 Seltos or K5. Visit CoughlinKia.com.
Coughlin has the car for you.
Based on January to December 2024 retail sales at all 4 locations. 0% for 48 months equals $20.83 per 1,000 financed. 1.9% for 48 months equals $21.65 per 1,000 financed. All manufacturer incentives to dealer. Prior sales excluded. Dealer financing required. Residency restrictions may apply. See dealer for details. Ends 9/2/25.
Imagine what it would feel like getting tackled head-on by a 240-pound linebacker. you'd be in serious pain, right? But if you're unbuckled in a car crash, at just 50 miles an hour, you become a deadly projectile that can slam into other passengers with 8 times that amount of force. Don't let someone else take the hit. Buckle up and visit buckleup.ohio.gov to learn more. Brought to you by ODOT and ODPS.
Got one of those days that never stops? Try a stop at Speedway. Refresh your fuel tank, refresh your U-tank with 69-cent large Big Gulp drinks. And refresh the vibe for any drive. Refresh at Speedway with 69-cent large Big Gulp drinks with speedy rewards and try exclusive Mountain Dew Infinite Swirl flavor for a limited time only. The convenience stores of Speedway. Valid through 8/26/25. See app for full terms.
Parents, let me ask you something.
Yeah.
Go for it.
We're listening.
Yeah. Are your teens good with money?
She's a good kid,
she's the
but
best,
yeah.
I get it. Switch to Huntington Bank, and your teen debit card can really help.
Oh?
You can set spending limits, and your kid can track budgets, so they learn that money doesn't, in fact, grow on trees.
I think we need this.
Sounds good, yeah. We feel you, parents. Let's get more from teen banking. Let's get more from money. Switch to Huntington Bank. Welcome. Eligibility requirements apply. Some features may require enrollment.
Saving money on your next project now at Menards. Don't let an outdated garage door define your home. Revamp your home's appearance with a new ideal garage door. Choose from our large in-stock selection or design your own using our free Garage Door Designer. Hurry in and save big money on your next project. Plus, check out our weekly flyer on menards.com for all the great deals happening now.
Save big money at Menards.
All your favorite and least favorite fan shows are available wherever you get your podcasts. Just type in 971 The Fan to the search bar and hit that subscribe button. It's free.
We're the land of the free and the home of the sunburnt, freckled fat guy.
Do it now.
I'm here with my friend Bob Capace from Worthington Jewelers. Bob, I hear you guys are having a big sale.
You know it, Common Man. Can you believe it? We're celebrating our 25-year anniversary.
August 19th through the 23rd, you can save up to 60% off in-stock jewelry.
And we'll have surprises and giveaways in the store all week long.
25 years of Capace goodness. He's my guy. Remember the dates. August 19th through the 23rd. Worthington Jewelers on High Street in Worthington. WorthingtonJewelers.com.
Looking to launch a career in the skilled trades but don't know where to begin? Part-time service in the Ohio Army National Guard can help. You can kickstart your career by enlisting in one of our many trades-based jobs. Get paid to learn these skills and gain on-the-job training when you report to your unit 1 weekend a month or 2 weeks in the summer. To learn how the Guard can pay for your civilian trade certification, visit nationalguard.com/OH. Sponsored by the Ohio Army National Guard in coordination with the Ohio Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Grown-ups, don't go back to school. Go forward through school into your future as an IT professional. Whether you're starting out, switching careers, or a veteran ready for change, My Computer Career can help you get into IT in just a few short months with no prior experience. So take the free career evaluation now at mycomputercareer.edu. Your rewarding career in IT awaits. That's mycomputercareer.edu. An elite CompTIA certification partner. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including the VA benefits.
The summer event is still on at Germain Honda of Dublin, and the deals are hot. Lease the rugged 25 Honda Ridgeline Sport for just $339 a month, or finance with an unbeatable 0.99% APR. Or drive home in the new 25 Honda Prologue EX. Lease it now for only $149 a month, or 0% APR, plus no payments for 90 days. Get the deal you deserve at Germain Honda of Dublin on Sawmill Road, just south of 270. See dealer for full details.
Fan weather
from the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Hey there, Central Ohio. Hope you're ready for a hot weekend forecast. Back to the low 90s and mostly sunny Saturday afternoon. A few scattered showers and storms could be possible, chances increasing Saturday night into Sunday. Sunday also having a few scattered showers and storms, temperatures in the low 90s. 90s will continue into next week before more rain returns by Tuesday. That's your latest 10 weather impact forecast. I'm meteorologist Michael Behrens on 97.1 The Fan.
Buckeye games have been airing on WBNS since before you were born and before your parents were born and before Abraham Lincoln was born. Trust me. Your home of the Buckeyes, The Fan. Live, local, and still slightly drunk.
I'm not drunk, all right? I just have a speech impediment.
This is Fan Sports Saturday.
No drinking yet. But I'll tell you what, at 1 o'clock, I'm going to crack a beer, brother.
What's the occasion?
Browns preseason football, baby. In a game you can hear over on ESPN Columbus, the Cleveland Browns are taking on the Philadelphia Eagles in the second preseason contest for both squads, following joint practices this week, where you had Shedeur Sanders, after setting the world ablaze in his preseason debut against the Carolina Panthers, hurt his oblique.
Ablaze.
And that's four to five Browns quarterbacks dealing with injuries, if I'm counting correctly. You're not going to see Kenny Pickett in the preseason. His hammy doesn't work. Shedeur Sanders has the oblique. Joe Flacco doesn't need preseason football. Number 4, I never want to speak of again. That leaves Dylan Gabriel, who's also dealing with a hamstring injury. Now, as you heard Nate in the update at the top of the hour, Dylan Gabriel is the presumptive starter for today's game against the Philadelphia Eagles. So I'll be drinking much beer because the Browns this week have done a great many things to upset me. And we will not get into that right now because we've still got Ohio State and Texas to talk about. That game is coming up in 14 days. Now, with the quarterback, it's one of many unknowns for this Ohio State offense. Who's it going to be? Now, we know, because it's Ohio State, they've got plenty of talent all over the team, every single position. The guys that they didn't think they had enough talent, they went out into the portal and acquired. So this is a roster that you could safely put up against any team in the country and say they are neck and neck. Some teams, like maybe Clemson, maybe I can't put Drew Aller in there. So maybe a Clemson have you beat in the quarterback department. Maybe Cade Klubnik, but because you've seen Cade Klubnik play actual college football games and at a really high level. You haven't seen Julian Sain, and we just talked about, we'll never talk about Lincoln Kienholz's game again. So once you establish the quarterback, which I think is important to do, then you can start to establish the other parts of your offense. Your front five, your running back. Is it a bell cow? Is it a two-back system? Your tight ends, most think Max Clare, but Will Kasmerik's there. Jelani Thurman's starting to come through. Your wide receivers are known, but everybody else is in flux. It's important, I think, for Ryan Day, sooner rather than later, to name the quarterback, to explicitly tell the team who the guy is, so then everything else can be put together for that puzzle. Because you don't have a ton of time. Even now, you got 14 days. So install's got to happen. And you need the ones for that install.
Yeah, that's a consideration.
I'd hope.
I know. You've worked with me enough that I hold my takes very loosely. So I can easily be convinced otherwise.
Very fast, very loose.
Yeah, so I would love to see whoever trots out there on game one. I don't really care.
One of those bingo things. He's just turning it. All right, center. Tegra Shabola. Great.
Yeah. Now, I believe in nothing.
Yeah, it's chaos.
It's chaos. But yeah, that's a good point because I'm just thinking like we think from the outside that there is, the team knows. And on some level, they probably do. They talk and what's going on. But, I mean, I was part of a quarterback transition from Beckman to Pryor. Mm-hmm. And everybody's so locked in on their own jobs, you'd be shocked at how little they know of what's going on. We had no inkling that there was going to be this, after we lost to the USC, it was going to go from Beckman to Pryor. And it was as little as far as I understand it, they just walked into the room and said like, hey, it's Terrell this week. And then it kind of trickled through the building.
Right.
And we all had to adjust because those are completely different playing styles too. I don't think they have that as much here. But it's like, okay, here's what we're doing, and we're just going to continue to do our job and let the drama is not part of it. So there probably is internally some value for the team. Now, I don't know if they're announcing it or, making it known in the team beforehand. But, yeah, I guess having it stated does help you, at least as a player, organize your mind around, okay, here's the guys, here's what we're doing. Especially O-line. You get a feel for guys differently. So I would, I'd concur with that assessment.
And I do think for
you're
these
a ball knower, man. Yeah, you'd want to know who the quarterback is because then you can build the O-line strength around what his tendencies are.
And that means so much coming from you because I don't think Tyvis ever gave me that kind of a credit, but you did ball at the highest level. So that's a compliment.
And I think I have more interceptions than him anyway.
Probably. So. At the professional level, you sure do, brother. Did you get to keep?
If one is more.
So that happened in December?
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Did you get to keep it as like a Christmas gift?
No.
Oh.
No.
Really?
No.
Because you were with the Bengals at the time, right?
Yeah, I was with the Bengals, and I was playing special teams, and I intercepted a punter.
Yeah, shame on them for thinking they could try.
Yeah. Matter of fact, if I'm remembering right, this was my last game I ever played. Honestly, Eric, it would take a whole segment, but my mind was I was kind of over it.
Okay.
I was pretty done with. It was hitting me hard after 4 years. I'm like, what am I on punt return? Like, what is this? Is just like, and guys are hitting me. So I was like, yeah, I intercepted it. I probably it did not even register. And like, this is like a really cool moment. No, it was like, man, it's cold in Pittsburgh right now. I think I'm ready to be done. It is a fun fact though that I can throw at my defensive friends.
Absolutely. You had an interception in an NFL game in Pittsburgh.
That's really
cool.
It's a true fun fact too. Most people struggle like when you're in like a setting like, hey, give me a fun fact about yourself. I can always have that one in my back pocket, and depending on who's listening, completely just blow their mind. If you're just like, wait, what? You played football? It sounds like two truths. I excel at two truths and a lie with people I don't know.
That I bet.
Mm-hmm.
You can tell me to kick rocks.
Okay.
You told a story off the air when we were at Buckeye camp of yourself when you would interact with current, and they would, I guess, be former Buckeyes, but when you would interact with them, they would be current or soon-to-be Buckeyes in settings where they maybe didn't know that you were a team captain, that you were an MVP, and that you had to kind of gently massage your way into saying, I put on the scarlet and gray. I was actually great for 4 years. I have 4 pairs of gold pants. Would you be comfortable telling that story on the air?
It's not. Well, you can't ask me on the air.
Yes, I can, because you can tell me to kick rocks. That's why I prefaced it that way.
No, what came up was I did an impromptu. I do not do like stand-up of any kind.
You did one on the Buckeye Cruise.
I did because I became friends with the comedian that's on the cruise.
Now you're the opener.
Local guy, very funny. But I was only the opener to do a favor for him because he's like, in stand-up, you don't want to walk into a room that is not ready for a comedy show. Sure. It's really hard. So if I was nothing else, bomb, whatever, it was basically just, hey, get everybody's attention, get them quiet down and in the mindset of I'm going to sit here and be in a comedy show. So I had I had a day to come up with what kind of what am I even going to talk about? What's material? Yeah. And the easiest thing was that it was because the day before on the cruise, and now this is a ship full of just Ohio State people that I've been going on since 2011.
Yeah.
And I had somebody come up to me and tell me that I was their favorite player. Actually, no, what he said was, hey man, I loved when you played. You were my favorite kicker. And the fact that I had been on it that long and he still had no idea who I was, and Josh, I don't know, the comedian was standing right next to me. He's like, wow. And very didn't laugh hard, but was like, wow, that was really good. That was funny. So we just built this whole thing, and it's a true thing of it happened when I ran into, I saw him and didn't talk to him, Jeremiah at the gas station.
Uh-huh.
I told you about that, didn't I?
I was in the vicinity of, you told it to somebody, but I was around.
Yeah, it was before one of the Buckeye shows, and it was right here down the street. And it was just the two of us at the gas station, okay? So it's on the corner of whatever, Olentangy and...
Third, were you at Get-Go?
Yeah, no, not... Get-Go's the Giant Eagle one, isn't it? No, not that one. Okay. The even more random one on the corner that you don't even ever really see anybody at, right next to Speedway. Speedway and whatever the one is right there. Maybe it's a Marathon. Anyway... Sure. It was easier access. So I stopped there, and there's 2 cars in the parking lot. There's me in my work Subaru, and then there's Jeremiah in the black Mercedes. And I wasn't so sure that it was him, but then I'm like, well, this is him. So
you can't, there's not too many Jeremiah Smith doppelgangers out there. So here
we are, played the same position at the same college, and we're just a pump apart, and the only 2 cars here. And I'm looking over there, and I'm just like, okay. Yeah, no, I think it is him. And then the calculation starts in my mind of do I engage with this person? So he goes inside to pay and I go in to get something. And so he's browsing the aisle and I'm we're aisle apart from each other. And I'm still just no, I'm not going to say anything because this is going to take far too long to explain what I even did and convince him that, hey, this is somebody who did what I did.
But you've done that game before where you have explained your way into somebody's heart as a former Buckeye, right?
What was that?
Who wouldn't know. I'll talk to you in the break, and we'll see if we can bring it to air in 2 minutes. It's Sports Saturday on The Fan.
At Dick's Sporting Goods, we have always believed sport has the power to change lives. Community happens here. Change happens here. Sport happens here. Introducing the all-new Dick's House of Sport, bringing new experiences, new services, and unrivaled selection from the top brands to a new place Polaris can call home. Featuring a rock wall, a Hittrax multi-sport cage, and 3 golf hitting bays. Dick's House of Sport at Polaris Fashion Place. Grand opening celebration August 15th through August 17th.
Hi, I'm Rick Germain, and it's the Toyota National Sales Event all month long at Toyota West. With over 600 new and pre-owned vehicles available, Toyota West at I-270 and Georgesville Road has the car you're looking for. And right now at Toyota West, take advantage of no payments for 90 days, and every pre-owned vehicle comes with a 72-hour exchange policy plus a 3-month warranty for qualified vehicles. Come see us at the Germain Auto Mall on Georgesville Road or get started today at ToyotaWest.com. No payments for 90 days. Deferred payment. Interest accrues at time of inception with approved credit. Expires 8/31.
Get Eco.
ECO. Hey, Aaron, I've been thinking. You came up with a new invention? No, I've been pondering a problem. Is it anything I can help you with? I'm not sure. Tell me. I've been thinking about our scuba diving plumbers.
Get Eco.
ECO. They dive right in and fix the problem. That's the problem. You lost me. The problem with being extremely good at something is that you make it look easy. You're worried that people think plumbing is easy? Well, our extremely very good plumbers sure make it look easy.
Get Eco.
ECO. Don't worry, Jerry. Sooner or later, most people try to fix their own plumbing problem. I can testify to that. Jerry, did you try to fix it yourself? Yeah. Don't give it another thought, buddy. I'll send somebody over right now.
Get Eco.
ECO. You're a real friend, Aaron. Eco Scuba Diving Plumbers, Genius Electricians, and you can always trust our HVAC technicians. GetEco.com.
Catch T-Bone and Tyvus weekday mornings from 6 to 9. If you're not completely satisfied, we'll rewind time and erase your brain. For real, The Fan. Garnish your Bloody Mary with sports talk. You're listening to Fan Sports Saturday.
Yeah, it was a bad job out of me in setting up what I wanted to hear from Dane. But in talking him through it, we got a tremendous story of running into Jeremiah Smith at a gas station. Because I do wonder in so many situations, you know, if you're a former Buckeye and you see Buckeyes current or, you know, maybe future Buckeyes, what's the best way to present yourself as we are not the same, but we are similar. We share in that brotherhood. And knowing in situations where you're in the wild, you only have so much time that you need to monopolize not only yours, but theirs. Because if Jeremiah Smith's pumping gas or if he's getting something to eat, he's likely got some place he wants to be. Nobody goes to the gas station just to fraternize. You go, you have a couple things you do and you get out. So for Dane, when you run into these guys at whatever event, monopolizing your time to them, not knowing who you are at first, to kind of get to a point where you both leave the conversation going, Buckeye brotherhood.
Yeah, there's a I've only got, it's a short window before they start instinctively signing something for me or me, like my forehead or something. So I have to make sure I get to the point, but kind of subtly.
Has someone done that before where you're talking with a former Buckeye or a current Buckeye at the time?
Yeah. So, and that's so like when we were on the cruise, my like quote unquote stand-up opening was just about navigating this life of being like a normal sized former athlete. That like without that, like my Wikipedia would say I did these things, yes, but it doesn't come off as readily, like it's not hitting you in the face. But like, how do I let you know? Is it weird that I withhold that information? How do I come up naturally? So yeah, I was sitting with one of the former or the current guys. He's still on the roster.
Still on the team?
Yeah. Who would have no idea who I am. I mean, I could have worked for the cruise line.
He might have been 5 when you were playing.
Yeah, no. So we were both in the coffee shop having some like nice an afternoon scone and maybe, I don't know if he was drinking coffee, but I was. He was sitting by himself and I sat nearby. And this was another one of those crossroads of like, okay, what are we going to do here? So I went with like, you got to break the ice with something. So it was like, I knew where he was from. And I mean, you can deduce who it is, but it's like, oh, he's from New Jersey. And I'm like, it's like, hey man, you enjoying the cruise so far? It's like, yeah. Where are you from? Oh yeah, no, I played with somebody from New Jersey. And then it's like, I can tell it's still not landing. So it's like, what, you played in a band in front of, what are you, Springsteen or something? I'm like, no, Malcolm Jenkins. And it's still not registering. And I'm like, we're still not getting it. And I was like, yeah, I was there so I have to like give my resume. I was there from like 2007 to 2011. And then it's still not readily apparent that I wasn't a kicker. And by that time, he is ready to exit anyway. Yes. He's got a massage. So he stands up mid-conversation and is just like, all right, man, we'll talk to you out there. And I'm like, oh, boy, this is going to be a harder task than I thought. So, like, the rest of my cruise experience was, like, any time we were at an event or had to, like, there's times where you, like, have to wear your own jersey or whatever it is, making it fairly obvious, like, being in there, like, kind of, showing the 11, name. It was 12. But, see, people forget.
Yeah, that's bad job on me.
Yeah, that was Anthony Gonzalez, who might run into the same issues.
So I would imagine, yes, but I was going to go for like the length of your last name on the jersey. Like you almost have to like show the full back.
Yeah. I mean, it's
you got a long one, brother.
It's a tough one. So when I saw Jeremiah at the gas station, I was like, the time allotted here in the interaction is no more than a hello. Starting to explain what I'm doing while you're trying to get out in your car is a 90% like awkward hit rate. Like there would be a 10% landing zone of having him be like, I probably would have gone with, hey, I played with your coach. Mm-hmm. But even then it would have been at most like, I had khakis on.
You were in your
my
work
shirt
gear.
Was tucked in. Yeah. It's like, it would have hit him so confused of like, as he's walking away, like, no, wait, what did he say? And then we're just moving on. So I made the decision that we're going to call this a day. I'm just going to soak in this moment of my own little world or my own little like encapsulation of the change in college football and just where we're at as the two of us just sit in this parking lot. Me just ending my day of work in my khakis and work car, and he's getting ready to go to practice and in the Mercedes. And I was like, I'm going to just have to be okay with this being it. Maybe I'll try next time. I'll work on a speech if I run into the guys again, but
so in the YouTube chat,
it's tough out there for former.
Sage just says, walk up and say hi. And I don't know if you could, I don't know. I would not be able to do that.
For all the reason I just explained.
Exactly.
That's not really sufficient. I could say hi, but okay, walk up and say hi to somebody who has walked up to and said hi to on a regular
thousands
basis.
Of times a day, I'm sure.
And has no reason to think I am safe zone. So when you're like these athletes, there's a different way you talk to people who are insiders or different people that how you talk to general public. There's just maybe that's just the way it is, especially around here. So I need to find a way into being into insider conversation quickly. If I just walk in to say hi, I'm already outsider. Then I have 30 seconds before we pay and we go our separate ways. So seems simple.
It's not.
Sage, I appreciate the simplicity, but I've been living in the body of this of a former player for now like 15 years. I've seen the challenges and nuances. It takes some tact.
I would think just like, hey, I'm Dane Sanzenbacher would work, and they either get it or they don't.
Okay, Nate, let's play that out. Has no idea what that name means.
But then that
has then gotten weirder than even saying nothing or saying hi with no context. Like if you just walk up and say your full name to a random stranger and look at him as if
that's weird.
And look at him as if they're supposed to know.
Like they have to know who I am.
Now I've ruined his day too. Now I just shouldered the burden of I'm not going to put this interaction.
It was interesting, like 2 weeks ago when they were talking with Ohio State's linebackers.
Then you yell at Brian for not telling them who you are. That's what I say.
Well, unless he's doing like the history of
James Laurinaitis was doing that with his linebackers, telling them about Randy Gradishaw and Chris Spielman, and I wonder if that's a similar thing that Brian Hartline can do with his wide receiver room.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll send him an email and ask if he can do that.
What do you mean an email? You send him a text.
Well, the email hits better. It means I'm serious.
These players don't know who I am.
Hey, ran into one of your guys at the marathon. Had no idea who I was. What's up with that? Made me feel weird.
You should let him know.
Made me feel small. Why? What is this? I told him my name. He looked at me like I had 3 heads.
I think you're operating from the safest space possible, and I think you're doing the right thing.
Yeah, I do what I can.
I get it, because especially with these guys, and today you never even you never know like what's this person's intent here.
You don't.
And I think you're playing
like,
it from the safest space possible.
It's the
I
need to be non-threatening.
Yes.
As you would in any situation. Like if you go on an elevator with strangers, you're not trying to be like the one making everybody feel uncomfortable.
No.
Everybody is doing things to just make everybody else like,
stand
okay,
your
you're
back
good.
to the door and just stare at them all.
So that is elevated times 10 to like well-known figures, whether it be like celebrity or these athletes. So like if I'm going to approach this lion with caution, I need to make everybody feel comfortable here. So that's a tough lift. And the only satisfaction it would be for me. It'd be like, oh, okay, yeah, I connected. It's not like we're going to be buddies. He doesn't really
see him on the Buckeye cruise.
He doesn't care or know who I am. Like, yeah, if it's on the cruise, and we want to actually sit down. But in passing, me like giving like a brotherhood. Maybe if we had a secret handshake, that might solve something like this.
So there's another thing you can approach Brian Hartline with. Let's establish a wide receiver secret handshake.
Oh, yeah.
And then you guys would be known only forever. By that, you could walk up to him, hit him with the handshake.
Well, that's what like varsity jackets used to do the trick with, right? Should I just wear that around?
Wear the gold pants?
Oh, my God.
You have 4 of them.
Oh, yeah.
Well, did you give any away to did you give to your parents?
Wear them around?
Yeah, all 4.
Okay, that's a sure way to not get invited to the Insider Club.
Yeah, it would be.
I mean, that's like a fan, sure. But if like a player came up to me wearing gold pants around his neck and said, I would be like, I would be calling my other friends and be like, did you play with this guy?
This loser.
What is going on with that?
Happened?
He wore the gold pants. It was a Tuesday. It was like 4 o'clock. He had the gold pants on his neck.
Do you know where all 4 of them are?
Yeah. They're with my mother.
Okay. I was hoping that I'd hear that answer.
Well, I mean, so I don't know exactly where they are.
No, but you know who you've entrusted them to. And that's the right person, I think.
You don't know my mom.
I do not.
Just kidding. She doesn't listen. I do know that.
But
so that joke will.
Good job, Mama Sanzenbacher. You raised a good one who knows how to interact with people in the wild and the importance of the gold pants and where they need to go to family once they are one.
Yeah, well, there's that. I don't know where this segment was supposed to go.
It went exactly where I wanted it to go.
Well,
when I kind of realized that I'd forgotten to ask you that a couple weeks ago.
Speaking of punishments, though, we could loop that in as far as sanctions, unless we got to go to break.
Well, do you want to? We can take that Band-Aid a little. We could take the. I was hoping to just put the Band-Aid on it.
Oh, let's leave it on. Let's leave it on.
Let's peel it back just a little bit. Coming up next, it's Sports Saturday on the Fan.
If you consider yourself a Buckeye fan, you've come to the right place. This is your heritage sports talker and home of Ohio State Athletics, The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
When it comes to your roofing, siding, or gutter needs, call Newman Roofing, 614-NEW-ROOF, newmanroofing.com.
At Kroger, you never compromise. You get high quality and low prices. Like you never compromise your meal with our spring salad mix that's guaranteed fresh. And you never compromise your budget with lower prices on over 1,000 items. Hand it to Kroger shoppers. You never compromise. Kroger. Fresh for everyone.
Check out this great deal on fresh grapes. Red, green, or black seedless grapes are only $1.77 a pound with your card. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Hi, welcome to IKEA. Hi, I'm in a whirlwind of college prep. Gotcha. We've got affordable solutions to create the perfect college living space. Great. And visit our website to see how verified college students with an IKEA family account can receive a one-time use 15% off coupon.
Nice. You guys think of everything.
Pretty much. Offer ends 9/30/25. Valid ID required. Discount applied proportionally across items purchased as shown on receipt. See IKEA-USA.com/ready for college for complete terms.
You ever feel like your money is just lying around? Switch to Huntington Bank, and your money is always doing something.
Like what?
Like automatically pushing more to savings so you can take that trip.
I like trips.
Who doesn't? It even tracks your progress. You're almost there.
Wow, I better pack.
And it charts your spending so you know which vacation hat you can afford.
How does it know I like hats?
Let's get more from money. Switch to Huntington Bank. Welcome. Eligibility requirements apply. Some features may require enrollment.
The Ohio Lottery's Powerball jackpot has soared to $565 million. That's $565 million.
Imagine what you could do with a win that big.
With drawings every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday, Powerball jackpots grow faster, and they're bigger than ever. Play today.
Check it.
And don't forget to pick up a cash word scratch-off while you're at it to extend the fun. With tickets from $2 to $30, there's a cash word for everyone. Visit your favorite retailer today.
Lottery players are subject to Ohio laws and commission regulations. Play responsibly.
Working your way through that honey-do list? That means more flushes, more showers, more fiddling with a thermostat. Trust the pros at the Waterworks with your plumbing and drain cleanings and repairs and all your heating and cooling needs. Our certified pros can repair or replace your furnace or air conditioner. Clogs? Call the Waterworks. Drain cleaning? Call the Waterworks. Plumbing issues? Call the Waterworks. Furnace repairs? Call the Waterworks. The Waterworks. Trusted neighborhood plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling experts.
Columbus, the Blue Jackets schedule is out. And you can lock in your seats with ticket plans starting at just 11 games. Don't miss a moment of the action. Visit BlueJackets.com.
Did you know that the ESPN Bet Sportsbook at Hollywood Casino Columbus is the official sportsbook of Common Man and Jimmy? And did you know that man shaves his pits? True story.
Listen weekdays at 3.
The Fans.
Save big money on new siding now at Menards. Update the look of your home and save big on Cedar Creek vinyl siding. This easy-to-install, low-maintenance siding withstands the elements and is available in 16 color options. Hurry in and save big money on Cedar Creek vinyl siding today. And check out our weekly flyer on Menards.com for all the great deals happening now.
Save big money at Menards.
Got one of those days that never stops? Try a stop at Speedway. Refresh your fuel tank, refresh your U-tank with 69-cent large Big Gulp drinks. And refresh the vibe for any drive. Refresh at Speedway with 69-cent large Big Gulp drinks with Speedy Rewards and try exclusive Mountain Dew Infinite Swirl flavor for a limited time only. The convenience stores of Speedway. Valid through 8/26/25. See app for full terms.
Oh, could this vintage store be any cuter?
Right? And the best part? They accept Discover.
Accept Discover? In a little place like this? I don't think so, Jennifer.
Oh, yeah, huh? Discover's accepted where I like to shop. Come on, baby, get with the times.
Right. So we shouldn't get the parachute pants?
These are making a comeback. I think.
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2025 Nielsen report.
Good morning, Doctor.
Doctor?
Hi, Doctor. Doctor?
Dr. Jackson's practice is growing.
What do you mean we're still short-staffed?
He needs a good patient doctor.
How do we not have enough doctors to doctor all these patients?
And he doesn't have the patience to sift through hundreds of resumes.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, it's easier for talented candidates to find it, which makes it easier for you to hire them. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Patriot Air Comfort Systems and Bryant, doing whatever it takes to keep your home comfortable. The Fan.
We firmly believe it's appropriate to tailgate before a youth soccer game. You're listening to Fan Sports Saturday.
Only to put a bow on the gold pant conversation that you and I had in the last segment, Dane, I did want to ask, with Ohio State fans and how they feel about the Michigan punishments that were handed down yesterday, if they had vacated wins from seasons where the Wolverines beat Ohio State, would you, as a Buckeye fan, a former Ohio State player, want that returned as a win to Ohio State?
No, that's lunacy. But it made me think, like, so yes, I do have 4 pairs of gold pants, but technically we only won 3. Vacated the last one.
Pants.
They did vacate the pants. We did not get that pair of pants until Luke Fickell took over as head coach. Found them somewhere that we had them. They just were never sent out because we were being good rule followers to the NCAA. And lo and behold,
you should not be good rule followers to the NCAA.
One day in the mail, showed up your 4th pair of gold pants.
That's awesome that he did that.
So for whatever people feel about the Fickell year, the man's a ball knower and a Buckeye.
He's a true.
He's like, all right, forget about this. We're not keeping these in a vault here, not to be had. So yes, I do have 4 pairs of gold pants, and that's what brings that full circle.
I'm amazed that there was a time where they took the gold pants from that 2010 season, they put them in a box, and I'm picturing them wheel that box like in Indiana Jones, where they take the Ark of the Covenant, and they would just wheel it into a warehouse full of other boxes to be lost for time.
Yeah, I don't know exact. That's the story I'm sticking to.
Okay.
There might be some details, and maybe Coach Fickell would call in and be like, that's not what happened, but that's the story I like.
That's the story we're going to stick to.
And that's what we do.
The job for this Ohio State team is to win it all, win the Big Ten, and capture a pair of gold pants. Now, they're 0-4 in the last 4 against Michigan. We know Ryan Day 1-5 or 1-4 against that team up north. It really only becomes a thing now that you move past what happened with Michigan yesterday. They're going to appeal the thing. This all becomes lost in the shuffle of the regular season that fortunately starts next week. Games in week 0. You got a noon kick. Two teams in the top 25 will play in Dublin, Ireland. But then this time, 2 weeks, you're 10 minutes out from Ohio State and from Texas in the game that everybody's been looking forward to. But there's still some questions about Ohio State, and they're who's going to be the quarterback? Who's going to be on their offensive line? Because I think it did raise some eyebrows this week where Ryan Day said that Austin Saraveld's been working exclusively at left tackle. Now, a lot of projections had him being the right tackle for the Buckeyes. But that factored to me when Ryan Day said that. I read it as we're trying to mix and match and find our best 5, knowing that what we start with maybe in a month or maybe in a week won't be that. It was at least 4 times last season the Buckeyes had to reconfigure their offensive line. They had a sickness in training camp. They had Donovan Jackson start the year injured. They had Josh Simmons go down in the Oregon game, and you lose Seth McLaughlin the week of the Indiana game at practice. And so for all of those guys having to jump in and out of different positions, I think Ryan Day and Tyler Bowen and the coaching staff know that we've got to scramble and figure out who our best 5 are during camp in whatever configuration that looks like.
Yeah, it's the only time you have to do it. I mean, it's not that much time to figure out who's who. And Ohio State knows it well because they've been through it, but any of these teams, you can't plan for permanence, right? Like from week 1. Be like, oh yeah, we're just trying to get our locked in and then this is what it's going to be. You've got to learn as much as you can in this time. So it's as much as like coaches feeling comfortable, players feeling comfortable. Like if we need to break glass and push this button, you've done it before, at least in camp. We've seen it. This is not brand new. So yeah, that doesn't raise alarm bells. No. I don't think you need to finalize it, lock it down. I just think you need to feel confident going into the season. Like, okay, we've got pieces. Because once the season goes, it's like anything that happens, guy goes down with injury, whatever it may be, for the most part, you know what the shift would be. You know, okay, this guy can move here, we move on. And as little disruption that causes is the goal. So, I mean, they've, like any other staff or team that's had success, you're looking at, okay, what can I learn from last year? That's a huge piece of learning from last year is like, make sure you've got guys that are comfortable at other places in case we need them in any situation. And yeah, it's college football, so you don't have the preseason to work through. You can't really do these things. You've got a couple weeks with just your guys, and especially this year, you've got to go right to Texas. There are years when, like, yeah, if you're rolling right up to like New Mexico State, no offense, New Mexico State, but like those type of games, yeah, those are essentially your preseason. But this is not one of those times. So this is probably, last week to figure out who can do what if we need them.
Yeah, I'd say even the last couple of days, because once you have a quarterback ready to go, I think it would behoove this staff to have your starting 5 against Texas squared away. Who's going to start at running back? Whatever you're going to do with your tight end, I should say, and then whatever you're going to do with your running back situation. James Peoples isn't getting a lot. I mean, they all have done really well through different points of camp, and James Peoples and Bo Jackson and CJ Donaldson and Turbo Rogers. But there's only so many offensive plays you can run and only so many offensive sets to where is it going to be a CJ Donaldson bell cow situation, or is James Peoples going to get a lot of the bell cow? I think last week I had played the cut where I think it was James Peoples had said him and CJ Donaldson are Sonic and Knuckles. Did you ever play Sonic the Hedgehog as a kid?
Yeah. My first memory of a pair of shoes, I knew I wore them for a while, but they were unremarkable, was my Sonic the Hedgehog LA Gears.
Okay.
Remember the ones that you step in?
Those light up? Yeah.
Yeah, so they were nice Velcro. I remember I was probably, I don't know if I was in first grade or something, but I remember getting to wear them to some kind of after-school function. Yeah, nice Velcro across the top. And
that's style.
I'll be damned if I didn't take a step and they lit up. So, yeah, of course, I know Sonic and Knuckles.
That comment told me that that's going to be a lot of two-back situations, them rolling like they did last year with the hotter
Sonic and
hand.
Knuckles. I thought you were talking about my light-up shoes.
Well, the light-up shoes told me that you are not only a man of great style, but we're a child of great style. And again, going back to my good job, Mama Sanzenbacher, on raising you right, she clothed you right as well.
Oh, thank you.
That's what that tells me.
I think why not have a two-back arsenal ready to go, though?
But
I mean, even though that's not, like, I almost think, though, to use your term, because I've never heard somebody use bell cow so often as somebody.
Do I use it a lot?
Yeah, is that similar to like workhorse or
it's just a different way to say workhorse. Yeah. Who's getting the bulk of your carries?
You're gonna need to.
I think so.
And even the pro model NFL teams, you're almost planning for that now.
Yeah,
it's not like the Emmitt Smith days. At least most. You're looking at like running back by committee.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're gonna need them, and you've got. Gosh, you've rattled off 4 guys that like you could say, okay, I might be okay with that.
You'd feel good with
that
with the talent that they've got, and any one of them out there, and you might see all of them out there against Texas.
Yeah, and that could obviously shift as the season goes, because a big part of it with these new guys, and I guess at the quarterback position for sure, I have a lot of faith in the O-line, so I wouldn't consider that like a big question mark for me. But with a new quarterback, unsung from the running backs last year, when I think those two were kind of the star of the show for they were so solid throughout the season and had such a big impact. But how good Travion Henderson got at pass protection, how much those guys locked in on that, especially with a new quarterback, I could see is like, okay, do we want flash here, or do we want a guy that is stout in the pass protection, knows how to chip, knows how to protect? Because we're going into a 1-versus-2 matchup week 1. Last thing we can do is take sacks. We need to be shored up before anything else. So I think it'll be interesting to watch the running back room, particularly throughout the first half of the year.
And with all of those positions offensively, we are inching closer to that Texas game. Takes reps away from guys who are competing, because now jobs need to be won, and those jobs need to be solidified because you're installed into Texas. At least you're walking up towards that. Larry Johnson pushed back against lack of depth for Ohio State's defensive front. You'll hear from him, and it's never a dull moment for the Cleveland Browns. Next, Sports Saturday on The Fan.
Question from a listener: do you dopes ever get tired of talking about Ohio State? No. The Buckeye Show.
Weeknights at 6.
The Fan.
Dear McDonald's, your breakfast menu, fire. 10s across the board. I could be happy with anything, even though I ordered the same thing every time. Thanks for not judging me. I'll try something new next time. Maybe.
For a limited time, you can enjoy a savory sausage McMuffin with egg meal, including golden hash browns and a small hot coffee for just $5. Price and participation may vary.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Get Eco.
ECO.
Aaron? Yeah, Jerry? Do you know what I like best about our plumbers? Tell me. No matter how difficult, no matter how messy, no matter what it takes, they just dive right in and fix it.
Get Eco.
ECO.
They dive right in.
Yes, they dive right in.
We've got scuba diving plumbers.
Get Eco.
ECO.
You know they don't literally dive in, right?
Well, of course not. Not yet, anyway. The pipes are too small.
Get Eco.
ECO.
They won't be able to literally dive in until I finish inventing my eco miniaturizing ray.
But until then, our plumbers will just keep on figuratively diving right in.
Yes, that would be best.
Jerry, do you know what I like best about our plumbers?
Tell me.
They're so good at their job, they make it look easy.
Get Eco.
ECO.
Get Eco.
ECO.
Scuba diving plumbers, genius electricians, and better than average HVAC technicians.
GetEco.com.
Hi, I'm Dr. John Runyon from Runyon Dental Group. Are you missing teeth, or do you have uncomfortable dentures? Dental implants can not only transform your smile, they can restore your confidence and allow you to eat those foods you love that you've been missing. When I was in my early 30s, I was in a similar situation needing complex dental work and dental implants. I understand all the emotions that you're feeling because I've been the patient, and I know that we can help you. Schedule a free consultation today at runyondentalgroup.com. That's runyondentalgroup.com.
At United Dairy Farmers, Peach is our most popular ice cream. Although it's only here for a short time, we sell more of it than any other flavor. And once you taste it, you'll know why it wins the popularity contest. We make it from scratch by mixing in the juice from our hand-selected peaches and big chunks of fruit. That's what gives it that unique peachier flavor. And that might also explain why peach season at UDF doesn't last long. UDF Peach Ice Cream, made for you.
Hey there, friends. Bo Bishop here. When passion meets craft, you get High Bank Distillery Co. Home to award-winning spirits, exceptional dining, and an atmosphere that makes every visit unforgettable. Sip on their signature whiskey war. Explore our handcrafted cocktails made with house-distilled spirits. Hungry? High Bank's menu is packed with locally sourced flavors from brunch favorites to dinner classics. Whether you're gathering with friends or discovering your next favorite drink, High Bank is the place to be. Visit their Grandview, Gahanna, and Westerville locations to experience the best in craft dining and distilling. Learn more at highbankco.com.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars, Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports Center.
And I'm Nate Puterball. The Cleveland Browns return to action today for their second preseason game. They're in Philadelphia to take on the Eagles this afternoon at 1. Dylan Gabriel is expected to make his Browns debut, with Shedeur Sanders also expected to see playing time. The Reds blew an 8-1 lead last night, losing to the Brewers 10-8. The Brewers tied a franchise record with their 13th consecutive win. Game 2 of their series is tonight at 6:40. Christian Yelich of the Brewers taking on Zach Littell. Catch the action tonight on The Fan. And the Cleveland Guardians look to bounce back after getting blanked by the Braves last night 2-0. Hurston Waldrop threw 6 scoreless innings for the Braves in the win. They'll square off again tonight at 7:10 with Joey Wentz taking on the Guardians' Slade Ciccone. And Columbus Crew SC return to action tonight at Lower.com Field. They'll take on Toronto FC at 7:30. Breaking sports news when it happens on The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Just because it's the weekend doesn't mean we shut up. This is Fan Sports Saturday.
We are officially 1 week out from the start of the 2025 college football season. Week 0 will be upon us next Saturday at noon. Number 22, Iowa State. Number 17, Kansas State. Farmageddon in Dublin. And then 2 weeks from now, the boot will be closer to meeting the ball at Ohio Stadium between number 3, Ohio State, and top-ranked Texas. Now, the excitement is only been palpable for months. And for an Ohio State team that is defending the national championship, nay, attacking a national championship, it is Texas, one of several foes that the Buckeyes had to get through for that 2024 college football playoff run. If you want to relive the Cotton Bowl Classic from Dallas this past January, Buckeye Replay will be the place for you today at 1 o'clock, Buckeyes and Longhorns from that 2025 Cotton Bowl Classic. From the scoop and Sawyer that Jack Sawyer, one of several Buckeye defenders, to etch himself in that game in Buckeye lore. You get to relive that. Paul Keels will, of course, have the call, but Timmy Hall will be your master of ceremonies for Buckeye Replay. Spoiler alert, good things happen for the Buckeyes. And then next week, Buckeye Replay is going to be the national championship game between Ohio State and Notre Dame. Dane, after 2 hours of doing this show together, where we've discussed, among many things, Michigan and the slap on the wrist they were given by the NCAA's Committee on Infractions, where are you on the 5 stages of grief as a Buckeye fan?
I think I accepted it.
Okay.
But again, my stages work very quickly. I don't work on the standard.
No.
I can go through them all in a day and then back to 1. So it just depends on what my distraction was.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm not too mad about it right now, but if you start listing off facts, I could get back there. You want to go back into Michigan?
No, but for those who are kind of just joining us and didn't hear the news yesterday, I'll do a little bit of my civic duty here, where the Wolverines received a series of fines that could eclipse $30 million, but really avoided any punitive penalties like a postseason ban or vacating of victories in those 3 seasons that were under investigation from the NCAA for Connor Stallions and his KGB-esque sign-stealing scandal.
Yeah, I'll go back to I think a better place to live was my initial reaction when I heard the news, was that I was so far... My expectation was so low for any punishment happening, because I think last time we talked about it, and even coming off a Big Ten media weekend,
correct,
the consensus felt like, hey, nothing to see here. Ohio State fans, you're the only ones that care about this. We're moving on. We're not doing anything. I honestly thought it was just going to go away and nothing happened. So yesterday when somebody was kind of reading off everything to me, I was like, oh, that's something. Hey, 10 years can't coach here. Hey, $30 million is a lot. It's not nothing. Here's some other things, and this is clear wrongdoing. So no matter what the spin is, or if Michigan's like, well, technically the bylaws.
Yeah, they're misinterpreting the NCAA bylaws.
Of course they are. Of course they are, because nobody could interpret as smart as
nobody interprets bylaws better than the Michigan man.
There's no way we could understand.
Yeah, no, we cannot possibly comprehend.
We're a far inferior school. We just don't learn like that. We have no idea how to comprehend a bylaw. But yeah, I thought it was like it felt appropriate to me in the scope of where we are. But that is with the understanding that I didn't expect the NCAA to do anything that was going to be bold.
Yeah.
I didn't have an expectation that there was going to be a bold punishment here. So they did something, and in 2025, even if it's just, I don't know, formality so they can move on.
Yeah.
It doesn't renew my hope in the challenges that the sport is having right now. But that was my initial thought. As I've looked into more, I totally see the inconsistencies of it. And if you're reading into it, even what they didn't make sense to what the punishment didn't even meet what they said the punishment should be.
No, in fact,
in the same report, it's not even like comparing that against, because I don't like to do this, compare it against 2010 penalties or whatever you guys did this before, when little things were mattering or illegal. But even within the same like sentences, you're like, this should warrant X, and then here's the punishment, and it's not X. I could see that as being frustrated for, but I always land on what do you want to happen? Like if you're an enraged fan, do you want the death penalty for the Michigan program? I don't know what.
I do think a lot of Ohio State fans, and I was sometimes in this camp, sometimes out, who wanted a postseason ban for them either this year or next year, maybe even both. It kind of depended on the day, because the egregious nature of what Connor Stallions did was something that's never been done in college football. And when I hear college athletic decision makers at the highest level say you need to protect the integrity of the game, I say, well, that flew in the face of it. And anytime the NCAA wanted something, it was Jim Harbaugh who directly or indirectly had his minions lie, deny, to where he even now, Jim Harbaugh is going to be asked about it next time he takes the podium for a press conference. Now, the Chargers and the NFL have declined comment outside of this initial 74-page release. But someone's going to, at a press conference, ask him about this. And he will deny. He will lie. I mean, the ultimate hypocrisy of Jim Harbaugh saying they did everything the right way to what was detailed yesterday, a very thorough investigation done by the Committee on Infractions, who says there were sufficient grounds for the Wolverines to receive a multi-year postseason ban, considering their status as a repeat violator, combined with their level 1 aggravated case classification. No postseason ban was enforced because the NCAA claimed it would unfairly penalize student athletes for the actions of coaches and staff who are no longer associated with the Michigan football program.
Yeah, to me it reads as the scholarship part of it surprises me more than the postseason ban.
That's part of their fines, is they will be taking a percentage of money that was going to go towards scholarships, and those will be subtracted.
Okay. Because I think that's more in line. Like postseason ban, yes, it's not even about punishing the current. You're asking the NCAA to punish themselves by saying like, okay, we're not going to have one of our premier programs going into the playoff. That's going to hurt us. Why would we put down a ruling that is hurting us or our other member institutions? So you can see why they did that. In the past, they would do it because it was a different playing field. They had a completely different end game in mind. But in this world, I could see that as making sense. It's a tough one. I don't know what else there is to.
I'll say this: for Ohio State fans, beat that. Just want your team to beat the hell out of Michigan on November 29th. You beat Texas, you beat Michigan, you win the Big Ten championship, you make a college football playoff run. This all gets forgotten. And this Ohio State team, Ryan Day and company, have the ability to do it on the field to make this all go away. Right?
Well, yeah. And there's like a part of it is you can only within the realm of, you're talking about the laws of college football, right? So like
which it's lawless now.
Well, even that, but you're still talking about within this realm. So like, okay, within this world of college football, here's the punishment. Here's how it's handed down. Is it too much? Is it not enough? There will never be like a clear, okay, this was the perfect one. It's what angle you're looking at. But I think what is clear is like, even for Michigan fans, and may not admit it, they have done a number on the reputation of the program over the past 5-10 years.
Yes.
I mean, to going to a point where showing you're going through these years of, okay, we're not where we should be, to then getting to a point of so desperate that this is where we want to go. And it's not even just cheating stuff. You've had multiple, these are compounding, like, hey, broke this rule. Hey, this is a recruiting violation. Hey, this coach is super creepy and we're going to take your laptops and investigate them. Hey, like, here's all these things that are all falling under the umbrella of this university that has to wear this stuff around. So, I mean, like, it's not nothing. There's only, even if you had more penalties, it doesn't go, it's not going to do any more. Like you say, okay, four-year postseason ban. I mean, whatever it may be, there's only so much punishment that's going to happen because they have to still play. You have to still have them in,
and that's, I think,
in the competition, but it's like how they're going about it is, I think, saying a lot. And I mean, I don't know. Maybe the Michigan fans that are not, they're just not the vocal ones that are going to be the ones that like, this isn't a great look for us. Because I would truly think, at least for me, if this was on,
put the shoe on Ohio State's foot.
Ohio State's foot, you would be like, how much would you dig in your heels and be like, no, that was nothing? Or would you be like, yeah, I don't know why we would do that.
Yeah.
Or, yeah, that's a bad look. That's not how we want to do it. But that's just kind of where I land on it. There's never going to be punishment enough, but it is not nothing because it is well known what's going on. And I think the NCAA clearly stating there was something here that was wrong. Here's what it is a useful step.
To your point about the desire to have Michigan relevant on the football field, I do think that is why Charlie Baker, after the 2023 national championship game, said Michigan won this game fair and square on the field because the investigation was going on, or they won the game in 2024. It was the 2023 season. But Charlie Baker said in January of 2024 that they had won the game fair and square. I think that was one of the first steps by the NCAA and college athletic administrators as a whole to want to put this in the rearview mirror. And you had Tony Petitti admit at Big Ten Media Days that he wrote a letter to the NCAA asking for leniency when it comes to Michigan and the Committee on Infractions in their punishment of them, because you still need that product on the field. You still need the eyeballs on that product, where if you kick them into the Spartan pit of irrelevancy, then that does not help your conference. It does not help what you want to do in an expanded college football playoff, which I have an update on coming up next. It's Sports Saturday on The Fan.
Tweet from a listener. Are you carrying the Buckeye game today? Considering we've never not carried one, yes. The answer is yes. The Fan.
At Dick's Sporting Goods, we have always believed sport has the power to change lives. Community happens here. Change happens here. Sport happens here. Introducing the all-new Dick's House of Sport, bringing new experiences, new services, and unrivaled selection from the top brands to a new place Polaris can call home. Featuring a rock wall, a HitTrax multi-sport cage, and 3 golf hitting bays. Dick's House of Sport at Polaris Fashion Place. Grand opening celebration August 15th through August 17th.
Got one of those days that never stops? Try a stop at Speedway. Refresh your fuel tank, refresh your U-tank with 69-cent large Big Gulp drinks. And refresh the vibe for any drive. Refresh at Speedway with 69-cent large Big Gulp drinks with Speedy Rewards, and try exclusive Mountain Dew Infinite Swirl flavor for a limited time only. The convenience stores of Speedway. Valid through 8/26/25. See app for full terms.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use? Now what?
I had a friend that went to my computer career.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu. My Computer Career, an elite CompTIA certification partner.
It worked for me, and I know it can work for you.
This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
1-877 Cards for Kids. KARS Cards for Kids.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877-CARS for Kids to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877-CARS for Kids.
1-877-CARS for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
Let me ask you something. Is your money doing everything it can for you?
I don't know. How would I know?
Is it automatically saving for special events and keeping you posted on its progress? Like at Huntington Bank?
Oh, no.
Is it tracking your spending so you can make the best choices at the mall?
Nope.
Or setting limits on your teenager's debit card?
Definitely not.
Then it could certainly be doing more.
Yeah, sure sounds like it.
Let's get more from money. Switch to Huntington Bank. Welcome. Eligibility requirements apply. Some features may require enrollment.
My name is Andre Roberts, and I'm a defender for the Ohio State men's soccer team. When I was in 7th grade, I fractured my kneecap. That was my first experience with Orthopedic One. My physician came in the room and delivered the diagnosis, and with the confidence that he had, it reassured me that I would be okay. And they definitely did a good job of knowing as a soccer player when I needed confidence, when I needed to be pushed, and they got me right back to where I was before my injury. Orthopedic One understood what it means to be a soccer player.
T-Bone's an expert at making mornings better. He brought back the bagel sandwiches at McDonald's. He feeds birds out of his mouth. And he hosts a radio show guaranteed to make you smile. Yay, T-Bone. Yay. T-Bone and Tyvis.
Weekday mornings at 6.
The Fan.
The season may be winding down, but there's still time to make the most of Buckeye Lake. At Buckeye Lake Marina, we have year-end deals on boats, accessories, and more to get you ready for next year's adventures. The Buckeye Lake Marina staff is there to help you find the perfect boat at unbeatable prices. Buckeye Lake Marina has a long list of satisfied customers, and you want to be the next. Don't wait. Sail into savings at Buckeye Lake Marina before the year ends and find the boat that's just right for you. Visit BuckeyeLakeMarina.com for more.
Hi, I'm Rick Germain, and it's the Toyota National Sales Event all month long at Toyota West. With over 600 new and pre-owned vehicles available, Toyota West at I-270 and Georgesville Road has the car you're looking for. And right now at Toyota West, take advantage of no payments for 90 days, and every pre-owned vehicle comes with a 72-hour exchange policy plus a 3-month warranty for qualified vehicles. Come see us at the Germain Auto Mall on Georgesville Road or get started today at ToyotaWest.com. No payments for 90 days. Deferred payment. Interest accrued at time of inception with approved credit. Expires 8/31.
Leaky pipes, no hot water, issues with your sewer or drains? When plumbing problems strike, Logan Services is ready to help you out. We offer free estimates on water heaters, water softeners, and drain lines. Whether it's a surprise leak or an aging water tank, we'll give you an honest recommendation so you can take action fast. Don't wait. Schedule your free plumbing estimate now. Fast, friendly service you trust from Logan Services.
Hi, welcome to IKEA. Hi, I'm in a whirlwind of college prep. Gotcha. We've got affordable solutions to create the perfect college living space. Great. And visit our website to see how verified college students with an IKEA family account can receive a one-time use 15% off coupon. Nice. You guys think of everything. Pretty much. Offer ends 9/30/25. Valid ID required. Discount applied proportionally across items purchased as shown on receipt. See IKEA-USA.com/ready-for-college for complete terms.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Hey there, Central Ohio. Hope you're ready for a hot weekend forecast. Back to the low 90s and mostly sunny Saturday afternoon. A few scattered showers and storms could be possible. Chances increasing Saturday night into Sunday. Sunday also having a few scattered showers and storms. Temperatures in the low 90s. 90s will continue into next week before more rain returns by Tuesday. That's your latest 10 weather impact forecast. I'm meteorologist Michael Behrens on 97.1 The Fan.
An encyclopedic knowledge of sports and other random things you may or may not care about.
I think I found my mentor.
Rockman and Ice.
Weekdays from noon to 3.
The Fan. Instead of annoying national people talking to you this weekend, we've opted for annoying local people. This is Fan Sports Saturday.
Yes, but keyword local. So it makes us maybe a little less annoying. Eric Reiser, Dane Sanzenbacher for the next 40 minutes before Buckeye replay hits your ear holes with Ohio State and Texas.
I don't think we're annoying,
from the Cotton Bowl.
Eric.
Well,
and local. So,
right?
Don't be mean. We live here.
Yeah.
We're real people.
We could run into you at a gas station.
Yeah. And you can
not
tell me
say hi.
And you can tell me I suck when I'm there, but don't.
I don't think anybody would do that.
Oh.
Not to you.
That's
Maybe to me, but definitely not to you. Speaking of suck, and we could go so many ways with that. We are ball knowers. I don't think Tony Petitti is a ball knower, Big Ten commissioner. It's almost confirmed Tony Petitti does not know ball. But Tony Petitti knows how to itemize football games to where they become the sellable elements that make the conferences a ton of money, like truckloads of money. Tony Petitti's newest idea, per Pete Thamel of ESPN, is a 24 or 28 team expanded college football playoff. Oh, I bleep you not, kids. Tony Petitti floated this by the Big Ten on Wednesday. Pete Thamel says it's begun being shared by others. It's an evolved idea from play-in games, and it gives more access in inventory. He says that proposes eliminating the conference title games and having a large number of auto bids for all 4 power leagues. For example, in a 2018 model that was proposed, auto bids would go to the Big Ten and the SEC, 7 each, ACC and Big 12, 5 each. There's also 2 bids for leagues outside of the Power 4 and still 2 at-large teams. So theoretically, the Big Ten could land 8 teams in a 28-team college football playoff. Thamel adds, the idea is in the very early stages. It comes from the Big Ten's intent of keeping the conference's races meaningful and making November regular season football meaningful across the league. Also, it incentivizes strong non-conference games. Dane, when I say to you 28-team expanded college football playoff, you think?
I think that Tony Petitti, did you know before he was doing this job, some of the other jobs he held?
Yeah, he was a Hulu executive.
Okay.
Yeah.
Among other things, he was also, I just saw the president of sports and entertainment for Activision Blizzard, the video game company that brought us such hits as Crash
that's why
Bandicoot.
He's an idiot. I can tell you a whole lot about that whole situation.
Well, I know Blizzard's had its issues over the last 30 years.
So you're seeing things from a light that's not from the, hey, this is coming from the heartstrings of college football fans. This is straight out of the, hey, how do we maximize this thing? How do
I get my shareholders the most profit?
And you got it, Nate.
But I will say this, the shareholders are guys like Ross Bjork, our athletic directors and conference school administrators. And he is doing, with this idea, throwing something at the wall, seeing if it can stick, at least in their heads, because at the end of all of this, the conclusion is you will make a ton more money. Because also, with this 28-teamer, it will put 20 college football playoff games on campuses. It'll take them from the sterile locations of the bowls and put them in cities like Columbus and Knoxville and Tuscaloosa and Athens. And those make those individual schools, like Ohio State's game against Tennessee, a bleep ton of money. Just playing the devil's advocate. I hate this idea, but this is why it is happening.
What do you hate about the idea?
There shouldn't be 12-team college football playoff.
Without looking at it, who do you think was the 7th place Big Ten team last year?
Michigan State? Were they middle of the road?
Dane?
Illinois.
7-5 Michigan.
Yeah,
college football playoff team. A 28-team model.
They might have been trouble in the playoff. I'm just saying.
They did their last 2 games.
They were pretty good their past 2
They beat Ohio State and they beat Alabama.
I don't think it's a yes. If you're already willing to accept that okay, within the nonsense, it's not a crazy idea to try to capitalize on what I thought was the coolest part.
That was so cool, Ohio State.
So
and
I can see
Tennessee,
him like doing like, okay, put them more on campus. That seems to be the growing momentum behind it. Was like everybody loved that. It was a sleeper hit. Most people thought like, hey, these weren't even good games. But when you went back to it, if you were there or if you watched the games, college football fits a lot better on campus. We've said it over and over. Like this is where this should be done. So if you're trying to get more on campus, the only way to do it, I guess, is expand that playoff to give more games to those institutions. I don't know. It's easy to just knee jerk is like, hey, this is a terrible idea because it came from you. But
no, this is just a terrible idea. This could have come from anybody, and I would have still told them this is a terrible idea. But I understand why the idea is out there, and it only is in the idea stage. I do like how now what these college football decision makers do, they soft launch it. They just put it out there just to see what the reaction is. Like what they had the expanded NCAA tournament, which they will expand, but they did so in a way to just kind of gauge reaction over the last couple of months. And then I think it was so negative for don't expand the college basketball tournament. They said, all right, we won't do it. We won't do it now. Like this is more of that. They're going to expand the college football playoff. I don't think it'll go to 16 teams in 2026. They have till December 1st to make that decision, but probably in 27, you'll likely see an expansion. It'll stay 12 this year. It'll be 12 next year. But you're going to get more because more is required per college sports decision makers.
Yeah, I mean, this is live reaction to what might be and might not be.
It might not be.
As an idea, again, it's not surprising. Yeah. This is where we're at of trying to throw things out there, see what the reaction is, throw things out there. Basically, it's such a unique space to have so much. You already have the popularity before you build the thing. When does that happen? Like this is a industry being completely rerouted and reworked with the end goal kind of already achieved, and that's eyeballs and money. It's there. So they almost have to they don't need to go to, hey, this is what fans want to see. To some extent, I guess. But that's not the goal here. They've already got us. So it's just like, hey, how can we make this make sense in both legal, financial terms so that everybody wins to the most possible with attention that we already have? I don't know. It's very strange. So it doesn't surprise me. And without knowing the details,
there's just the details are scarce.
I'm always for taking the bowl game, quote unquote, doesn't really fit in a playoff model. And I think coaches have said that. It doesn't. And so if you can move those things to campus, if you could have a world where I try to think in terms of middle of the road Big Ten teams. Mm-hmm. So if Michigan State or Iowa, if you're fighting for a national championship, maybe you're thinking hey, that might not be realistic for us. But if you're fighting to get a playoff game where your team maybe has, or your fan base has a reason to travel to, I don't know, Knoxville or, Athens, or go play at an SEC stadium, one that you wouldn't in a game that matters, then that becomes the crown. I think that's a heck of a lot cooler than going to a bowl location or a bowl game. I would rather, as a fan, travel to see another school's campus and what their game day environment is like and all that, than go to random Pop-Tart bowl location that's just in a random city. So if that's what this is getting to, there might be some other details that aren't as savory, but I think that's kind of cool. I could live with that.
Yeah.
I don't know how the numbers shake out. I don't know how this works, with the semesters and how much school they're going to have to go to. So we're going to have to work out.
Yeah, right. You're the only one thinking about that.
No,
Dave.
He's still calling them student athletes. So as long as he's going to do that, I have to consider, what does this do with their credit hours? And what if they have...
if we're having that conversation...
there's finals to consider here. But that aside, I don't know. I think that's a way to have, the seventh team in the Big Ten. You still have that fan base trying to get into a playoff. And even if you don't host a game, where are we going? Oh, gosh, look who also had a down year. It was Florida. So now Michigan's going to Gainesville to play in the first round of the playoff. People would love to do that. I just sounds cool to me.
Well, again, I think you are putting yourself in those kinds of the rooms where those discussions are had. Because I agree with you. I think if you put more campus-based college football playoff,
no solid point. I have no solid ground here. I can be convinced. And my thought on this is the Tennessee-Ohio State game.
It was so cool. That the environment
and all of those first-round games. My wife went to the Indiana-Notre Dame game.
Yeah.
And it was like I think it was kind of by accident, but they unlocked something there that was just like, oh, the game day environment, the tailgates, the everything, the pageantry is college football. That is what makes it different. And if people are burnt out on bowl games, I think it's really cool to like have random matchups in meaningful games. And if that means like I only need to be top half of the Big Ten to get that opportunity.
I do love how, as this is being floated out, you get the social media reaction live in real time. Spoiler alert, everybody hates it.
Dang it.
Everybody hates this idea.
I thought I was making like really good points.
I think you were, because
just put the quarterfinals at home games. Problem solved.
It's just, we'll bring it back to the student athlete thing just real quick, because you're asking so much more of them. Because you're asking so much more of the families, of their bodies, all for the almighty dollar.
Eric, that's not a consideration you can make.
I'm the only one thinking about that.
That road only leads to, this is dumb, let's stop doing it. I'm telling you, like if you go down that road far enough, it's like, oh, this makes no sense, let's just be done. And that's not a reality. So I'm living in a different world.
Speaking of dumb, maybe you should measure before you build. That's in 2 minutes. It's Sports Saturday on The Fan.
Sometimes I hear a sparkling sound.
Like when we say, all you have to do is point?
There it is.
That's the sound of magic happening.
Magic like we can come the day you call us? Wow.
Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK or visit 1-800-GOT-JUNK.com.
Get Eco.
ECO.
Hey, Aaron, I've been thinking.
You came up with a new invention?
No, I've been pondering a problem.
Is it anything I can help you with?
I'm not sure.
Tell me.
I've been thinking about our scuba diving plumbers.
Get Eco.
ECO.
They dive right in and fix the problem.
That's the problem.
You lost me.
The problem with being extremely good at something is that you make it look easy.
You're worried that people think plumbing is easy?
Well, our extremely very good plumbers sure make it look easy.
Get Eco.
ECO.
Don't worry, Jerry. Sooner or later, most people try to fix their own plumbing problem.
I can testify to that.
Jerry, did you try to fix it yourself?
Yeah.
Don't give it another thought, buddy. I'll send somebody over right now.
Get Eco.
ECO.
You're a real friend, Aaron.
Eco scuba diving plumbers, genius electricians, and you can always trust our HVAC technicians.
GetEco.com.
The summer event is still on at Germain Honda of Dublin, and with football back, Rich is ready to dominate the competition. You can lease the sleek 2025 Honda Accord LX for as low as $249 a month or finance with 3.99% APR. Upgrade to adventure with the 25 Honda Pilot Sport all-wheel drive. Lease starting at $429 per month or 4.49% APR. Visit Germain Honda of Dublin on Sawmill Road, just south of 270. See dealer for full details.
Skyline is introducing a new chicken chili. Come get that world-famous Skyline flavor you love with a new protein option. Try the new Skyline chicken chili on Waze, Coney's, and all your Skyline favorites. At Columbus Skyline locations only while supplies last.
No hot takes, no dancing, plenty of stupid. Bishop and Friends.
Weekdays from 9 to noon.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Sports talk, weekend style. You're listening to Fan Sports Saturday.
All right, so Pete Thamel just reported that Tony Petitti floated out a 28-team expanded college football playoff. And everybody hates it. This from Yahoo Sports, Pat Forty. If the Big Ten wants some concepts to mull over, maybe can address why 1/3 of the league is listed on the NCAA infractions dashboard. This from an SEC guy, Heath Klein. The same conference that hired a commissioner who panicked and tried to destroy the sport in 2020 now has hired one who wants to ruin it in 2025 to create a little more TV programming. Great job, guys. He's just being bold.
Neither is wrong. Those are right. But who's the hero? If that person can chime in, who's the hero in the story? Who's trying to save college football? Name one executive in the NCAA or at any of the universities. If you can come up with the hero, fine. But then let us live in the most fun villain scenario. And the most fun villain scenario might be like having just a big playoff and you get to go and have a reason to travel and see different campuses. I like different campuses. I'm the only one going to bat for this Petiti idea, and this is not in my brand. I'm really usually Mr. Is this his full-time job or is this just a side gig? But anyway, I'm in the minority.
It's the conversation that we have about the NFL commissioner, and similarly the Major League Baseball commissioner. They work for the owners. Tony Petiti works for school athletic directors. And if the school athletic directors go to Mr. Petiti and they say, make us more money, he says, absolutely. Here are a bunch of ideas. Let's see if we can get enough people to agree. We sign off on it so everybody can make more money. 7 auto qualifiers for the Big Ten, an 8th potentially, would mean more units, because of more inventory that would make all of them richer. So let's not, act like this is anything less than that. On Friday, Cleveland.com reported that the Browns' plans for a new stadium near Cleveland Hopkins International Airport hit an unexpected turbulence from state aviation officials who are denying a construction permit on the grounds that the proposed stadium would obstruct air traffic. The Ohio Department of... Yeah, that puts definitely throws a wrench into things. ODOT, their aviation division, denied the permit in response to officials at Cleveland Hopkins, saying the proposed stadium would impact the airport's airspace, adding the proposed structure has been determined to be an obstruction to air navigation. The Ohio Department of Transportation says the proposed stadium would have to be lowered by at least 58 feet at its highest point, not to violate federal restrictions on aircraft approaches for airport runways. Your thing's too tall. This is a stadium that already was touted as being lower into the ground to the point where it wouldn't obstruct planes coming and going from Cleveland Hopkins Airport. And now ODOT comes out on Friday and says, in fact, it would. And the Browns say, well, the FAA cleared us, which unfortunately doesn't cover all of your bases. The Browns say it's at odds with what the FAA said, and that they're going to appeal.
Where on the priority list in the planning of a brand new $1 billion stadium do you think they placed making sure it doesn't get hit by airplanes? It must have been pretty low.
Had to have been low.
Yeah, if they're just getting there now.
Yeah. I mean, the stadium renderings have been out there for at least a year.
Yeah, like last box to check. What's that next door? That's an airport. All right, let's make sure it doesn't get hit by a plane. Oh, might have a problem here. It's an easy fix, though. We talked about some solutions.
What did we talk about?
The most simple one I can think of is in the, whatever it would be, east stands. You just kind of build the whole stadium on a type of slant.
Okay.
I think it could be very unique as almost like it looks like a wedge. So like on one side of the stadium, you would go up like 400 rows and then descend onto the other side. It would be only like 1 row. So a plane could easily come down on that.
You're having it land,
angle.
You're having it land at an angle.
Not on, but it's the stadium's built on the descent angle.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think that's the simplest. The other one would be just in the stands. You could build just a, the outline of an airplane.
Okay. And have
just
the planes fly through that little hole?
Just in case they went too low, they wouldn't clip. So like on that side of the stadium, you just have, it's 58 to 60 feet lower just in the body and then a little bit lower to add the wings so that if it happened, this is simple.
This does walk in lockstep with the Browns and their lack of doing research, like proper research on things before either acquiring them or taking steps to
and what I'm going in is
them.
Lockstep with the Browns, and once you make the mistake, going with it to a point that compounds the mistake. So going forward with the plans and just trying to cut out a hole in the stadium maybe, or just make it a slant.
One would think when you're only 2 miles away from the airport, your proposed site, you might think about this at the beginning.
Well,
sure, if you want to add logic to it. But this is the Cleveland Browns we're talking about here. Logic is far gone from this organization.
This led me to look up some all-time Browns blunders.
Oh.
And I was going to give you a heads up and say, like, hey, let's do Power 5 things the Browns have done that are ludicrous. But I just want you to, I hope your head doesn't explode, but I want to go through them. There's 25, but I'm not going to do all 25. I'll give you the top 5.
Thank God.
I'll give you the top 5 and see if you agree and where you would put building a stadium next to an airport and not considering airplanes on that list.
Okay.
Okay, so number 5 on this list, the Odell Beckham trade. People seem to put this very high on the list.
Oh, I have issues with that. When you got him, he was one of the best receivers in the league. It didn't turn out well, but I'm okay with when they made the move at the time they did it.
Okay,
no,
so
I disagree with that.
Okay, number 4 was the Kyle Shanahan's escape, not locking him down as your head coach.
Yeah, it's up there. Yeah, that's fine.
Number 3.
That's not 4, but sure, continue.
Hugh Jackson.
There it is. That's 3. Yeah, that's an appropriate one.
Number 2, Deshaun Watson.
Oh.
There's a worse one?
Yeah, I was going to say, what's number 1?
Well, the only worse one there could be, number 1 is Jimmy Haslam buys the team.
Well, it does lead to all of those things. So I don't know if you have Hugh Jackson or Hugh Jackson again. I mean, you went 0-16 and they said, let's run this back.
Is there anything else off the top of your mind? And I'll tell you where it falls in the top 25.
Is a Dwayne Rudd helmet throw anywhere there?
No, most of this is not on field.
Okay, so these aren't on the field.
These are all decisions
Mike
that were
Pettin,
made.
Rod Chudzinski, or either of those gentlemen.
So ripping through it,
Eric Mangini.
There's the Julio Jones trade. There's drafting Brandon Whedon.
Okay.
There is.
I guess I'm more so. Okay. Yeah. I was more so thinking of like coaching hires, but we can go into their endless supply of draft blunders. Gosh, Whedon's up there. Manziel's got to be there. Justin Gilbert's got to be there. Top 10 for Justin Gilbert because nobody knew who the hell he was. Pettin just liked him because he was tall.
Yeah, that's number 8. That's pretty high. Justin Gilbert / Johnny Manziel.
Yeah, that draft is abysmal. The thing with this stadium thing is it would be top 5 if they were to have put structure, if they would have to started the structure of the stadium, which I think Huntington Bank Stadium.
Yeah, it's tough to, you might push up to number, you can't go, 1 and 2 are pretty solidified.
You've avoided disaster only because there hasn't been anything built yet. So you can go back to whoever's designing it. You can go back to your architects. You can go back to your planning committee. You can say, all right, ODOT's saying this is a no-go. We've got to make sure that this will meet their standards. Because, yeah, I'm sure the FAA, you were able to say, here are our plans. How does it look? And they emailed you back. Approved. But ODOT's going to send people to the site. ODOT's going to confer with the folks at Hopkins International Airport. And so it's not there yet, but woof. The Cleveland Browns in my entire life have been really, really bad. That's a lot of, maybe very upset here. And I really was with so much optimism post Shedeur Sanders and the hope that could have given after his preseason debut against the Panthers, because maybe there's a glimmer of he could be the guy that would make you not have to draft a quarterback with one of your 2 first-round picks next year. He's not playing today. He is warming up, or he is out on the field right now in Philadelphia, just throwing. He's got an oblique injury. Dylan Gabriel's going to get the start for the Browns against the Philadelphia Eagles in their second preseason game. It kicks off here in about 18 minutes. You can hear it over on ESPN Columbus. It's an incredible thing of all 32 teams in the NFL doing something completely different in their approach to the preseason. And Jerry Jones, we knew it all along. That's next at Sports Saturday on The Fan.
Winners of the prestigious Platinum Microphone Award every year, given to the best radio station in the world. No need to look it up. It's real. The Fan.
The trash talk, the bad trade requests, the horrible reaches on draft picks. It's fantasy football time, and the ESPN Bet Sportsbook at Hollywood Casino Columbus is giving you a chance to hold your fantasy draft in a fantasy location. On August 24th, host your fantasy draft party at the ESPN Bet Sportsbook, which will include a $100 dining credit, draft board, and swag. Visit 971thefan.com and sign up for your fantasy draft party package. Must be 21 years or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER for help.
The Ohio Lottery's Powerball jackpot has soared to $565 million. That's $565 million. Imagine what you could do with a win that big. With drawings every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday, Powerball jackpots grow faster, and they're bigger than ever. Play today.
Check it.
And don't forget to pick up a cash word scratch-off while you're at it to extend the fun. With tickets from $2 to $30, there's a cash word for everyone. Visit your favorite retailer today. Lottery players are subject to Ohio laws and commission regulations. Play responsibly.
At Kroger, you never compromise. You get high quality and low prices. Like you never compromise your meal with our spring salad mix that's guaranteed fresh. And you never compromise your budget with lower prices on over 1,000 items. Hand it to Kroger shoppers. You never compromise. Kroger. Fresh for everyone.
Save big on eggs. Right now, 18-count cartons of large grade A Kroger brand eggs are on sale for just $3.49 each with your digital coupon. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Parents, let me ask you something.
Yeah.
Go for it.
We're listening.
Yeah. Are your teens good with money?
She's a good kid.
She's the
but
best,
yeah.
but...
I get it. Switch to Huntington Bank, and your teen debit card can really help.
Oh?
You can set spending limits, and your kid can track budgets, so they learn that money doesn't, in fact, grow on trees.
I think we need this.
Sounds good, yeah.
We feel you, parents. Let's get more from teen banking. Let's get more from money. Switch to Huntington Bank. Welcome. Eligibility requirements apply. Some features may require enrollment.
Matty Ice here. Are you ready to rumble? Then get ready to roll on up to McDaniel GM Superstore in Marion. Right now, they're unleashing huge savings on the all-new 2025 Silverado 1500. We're talking about up to $13,000 off MSRP. Or if you need some serious muscle, get a 2025 Silverado HD for as low as 3.9% APR for qualified buyers. They're just a short drive north off Route 23 in Marion, or you can visit McDanielGMSuperstore.com. Chevrolet, together, let's drive.
At Baths R Us, we believe home improvement is life improvement, and that starts with a team who brings your vision to life. Our installers aren't just skilled, they're experts.
This is who we are. This is what we do all day, every day.
Right now, get $1,500 off a shower or tub replacement, or $3,000 off a full bathroom remodel. Plus, low to no monthly payments. Call 380-225-BATH to schedule your free estimate, or go to bathsrus.com. 380-225-2284. Baths R Us, where dreams soak in.
What does summer bring to mind? Lazy days by the pool? Hot dogs on the grill? How about large, sweaty men putting work in to defend their national title? Yes! Your summer home of the Buckeyes, The Fan.
Everyone has that one goal, that thing they want to prove. Not to other people, but to themselves. Then, right when you think you could actually do it, cancer. And that goal is still within reach. Oh no, I'm about to run my first ever marathon with my two best friends. 3 years after having cancer.
At least we look good in these shorts.
Woo! Let's get it, guys. You, keep making plans.
Visit ohiohealth.com/keep making plans to learn more.
Burnt out, foggy, running on caffeine and willpower? It's time for a reset. Hydrate Me Med Spa brings next-level wellness to Central Ohio with medical-grade IV drips, NAD Plus for brain and energy support, and ozone therapy to detox at the cellular level. This isn't just self-care, it's a system upgrade. Feel sharper, sleep deeper, perform better. Now open in Dublin, Grandview, New Albany, and Granville. Book your drip at hydratememedspa.com.
Here's 3 reasons to buy your Blue Jackets ticket plans for the 25-26 season. 1, pick your seat and pick your games. 2, plans start at just 11 games. 3, flexible payment plans. Act now. Visit bluejackets.com/tickets.
Imagine what it would feel like getting tackled head-on by a 240-pound linebacker. You'd be in serious pain, right? But if you're unbuckled in a car crash, at just 50 miles an hour, you become a deadly projectile that can slam into other passengers with 8 times that amount of force. Don't let someone else take the hit. Buckle up and visit buckleup.ohio.gov to learn more. Brought to you by ODOT and ODPS.
When it comes to your roofing, siding, or gutter needs, call Newman Roofing. 614-NEW-ROOF. NewmanRoofing.com.
Want to know anything about the Fans contest, how to win, or what's up for grabs? Check out 971thefan.com. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
During weekend programming, pants are optional.
Look at my butt!
However, leather chairs may have been a bad choice. You're listening to Fan Sports Saturday.
Yes, you are. Week 2 of the NFL preseason rolls along. You've got Several games on the docket today. Browns and Eagles. They go at Lincoln Financial Field here in about 12 minutes. Tonight, you've got Buccaneers and Steelers. That game's being played at Acrisure Stadium in the Steel City. No Will Howard for Pittsburgh. There was some hope that he might be able to play a little bit in the preseason. They've got one more contest, though, coming next week, but it's very doubtful. Emeka Egbuka likely to get more time with Tampa Bay. He's been the darling for their training camp. So a game of interest. Emeka Egbuka, I think, landed in the best spot for any of the Ohio State players drafted. There were 14 of them, and all of them landed, I think, in good situations. The Quinshon Judkins news from yesterday was that, or it might have been Thursday, that the charges are dropped, and so he now will await the NFL to see if they rule. He was arrested for domestic violence. He hasn't signed his contract with the Cleveland Browns yet, but the charges are going to be, they're not going to take it to court. Prosecutors found that there was insufficient evidence. Now it is just in the hands of the NFL and whether or not they want to do anything and suspend him any amount of games. I think the Browns are also waiting on that. It was Isaiah Bond, former Texas Longhorns wide receiver who had a sexual assault case against him that was pending. Those charges have been dropped, and he has been signed, or he is in talks with the Cleveland Browns. Not great.
All right, Eric. I don't even think I need to pile on to what you got going on over there.
I didn't mean to get into it. I just thought it important to update on the Quinshon situation and then to make notice or to make mention of the Isaiah Bond situation. And I don't love that as a Browns fan. But there's Deshaun Watson. So it has been known for years that organizations like the Cleveland Browns look the other way if there aren't charges. If you can play good football, if you can help this team out on the field, we're not really going to look at who you are as a person. And that is something that everybody, I think, every individual fan can wrestle with in their own way. I certainly won't tell anybody how to feel about those. Personally, as a Browns fan, don't feel great about it. If you're an owner of an NFL team, you do have to feel great about the valuation of your franchise, as every single year they go up by double digits. Sportico earlier this week had their annual valuations for all 32 NFL franchises. The Dallas Cowboys, for I think the 6th or 7th year in a row, are the team that's valued the most at $12.8 billion. For Jerry's squad, that's a 24% increase from last year.
In 1 year?
Yeah. Just think about that and kind of understand why everybody's so eager to get into sport, because it's the ultimate industry where you just put money in and watch it accumulate. The Cowboys, they own their own stadium. They obviously, the NFL rights deals continue to go up and up and up and up. Now, Netflix joins in the fray. Jeff Bezos gave them a bunch of money. So everybody wants to be in the NFL business. And I had been arguing for a couple of years now that when those valuations come out, so Sportico's came out on Wednesday, that's Jerry Jones' Super Bowl. He's not interested really in on the field and the on the fieldness of being an NFL owner. He is their general manager, but only because he likes making the decisions, only because he likes all of this attention. Like there was even one NFL GM who speculated to Yahoo Sports that with the Micah Parsons drama, quote, is there a chance they already know they're going to give him everything he wants and hand him $140 million in guaranteed money to buy peace, but Jones is playing this out for all the attention that it's getting? Yes. He loves this. This is his being the team it's America's team. It's worth the most. It's got the most eyeballs. They get a ton of marquee games despite not having won anything in 30 years. That's not what Jerry Jones cares about. He cares about things like that.
There's probably more than an amount you would be comfortable with that or feel that way.
In terms of owners?
In ownership,
yes.
Yeah.
And this goes all sport, right? The Cleveland Guardians, the Dolans, that's all. They do not care about the product on the field. They've been able to, for some reason, and the farm system has a lot to do with it, and luck in drafting and developing players, and they've made some decent hires, but having a high payroll has never been something they're interested in. Similarly with the Pittsburgh Pirates. They've got a generational talent in Paul Skeens, and they're going to do nothing with him but bring people into the stadium to just make money on ticket sales. And for these NFL owners, I look at the Brown family. The Bengals are at the bottom of that list at $5.5 billion. But they haven't done anything. They just got lucky of being born from Mike Brown's seed. That's it. And
seed might be the worst word you've said on air yet today.
I was not going to be potty mouth. Yeah. I'm still mad at you for like throwing the Browns and their follies in my face. And then I had to realize,
look at them. They're fine. They're worth $6.1 billion, and they can't make a decision to save their lives.
$6.14 billion. It's
because people like you keep showing up in the dog pound.
We keep
wearing all silly stuff.
Giving them that damn money. No, you can mean offense to it if you think wearing bones on your head is weird or barking like a dog all the time is weird.
No.
You're well within that. The Steelers are coming at 17 on this. Again, this is Sportico, who every year releases their NFL team valuations. Steelers worth $6.51 billion. Just to the Bengals real quick. They're going to be playing a Monday Night Football preseason game against the Washington Commanders. You're going to get Joe Buck and Troy Aikman on that call on ESPN Monday night around 8 o'clock. Joe Burrow played in their first preseason game. He was damn near perfect. They're going to have more reps with the ones played Monday night. There was an incident earlier in the week where Shamar Stewart fell into Joe Burrow during practice, and that caused some scuttlebutt because you don't touch the quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
But I do think for the Cincinnati Bengals, this is the right way to go about it if you're trying to avoid a slow start to your season. I know T. Higgins says we don't like that narrative, but you are 1-11 in the first 3 weeks of the season under Zach Taylor. You've got to do something. This is something I can approve of in starting Joe Burrow in all 3 preseason contests.
Yeah.
You can't be scared of football, Dane. And injuries happen. But you can't walk with that kind of a fear. I don't think so, at least.
No. I think... Not from a player's perspective. I think Joe Burrow has not shown that he doesn't want to play. He clearly
if he
wants
says,
to.
I'm playing, he's playing.
I think there's something they could do is when I was there, they unleashed a new song that we would run out on the field to.
What?
And it really got the players fired up. It was I've got the eye of the tiger. The Katy Perry song.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
I'm not familiar. Can you keep singing?
That was our hype up run onto the field song.
Who picked it?
Oh, I don't know.
So a player had to, right?
It made it like one game, and everybody's just like dying laughing. Like, this is what we went with to get us fired up for the game. So from then on, they still committed to the song, but it was just instrumental. So we would run onto the field with that. But we had a lot of success in week 1. So
I'm just getting it. I'm just putting it together. Eye of the tiger because it mentioned a tiger. Bengal. Oh,
you're gonna hear me roar. You know roar. It's roar. It's called roar.
Everybody knows the song that you're mentioning. It's just so much better that you sing it. We've got to jet. You got Buckeye replay, Ohio State and Texas. Next on The Fan.
We're your radio home for the Buckeyes, Browns, and all the NFL games you can handle. We may have a bit of a football problem. Oh, yeah. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
The dog days of summer are the best days to save at Coughlin Chevrolet. Lease a new 2026 Chevy Equinox, only $259 a month. New 2025 Silverado, lease for $359 a month. See our full inventory at CoughlinChevrolet.com. Together, let's drive.
Coughlin has the car for you.
36-month lease with $39.99 due at signing, plus tax, title, and license. 10,000 miles per year, 25 cents per mile over. See dealer for details. Ends 9/2/25.
Common Man here. Our friends at Care Heating and Cooling in Lenox are feeling the love. They're doing something extraordinary for Central Ohio families. The Lenox Feel the Love program provides deserving families and individuals with indoor heating and cooling equipment as well as installation at no cost. You can nominate someone who you think is deserving at feelthelove.com. Nominations will be accepted through August 31st. Let's give back to our hometown heroes. Selfless neighbor, maybe who always puts everybody first. Community leaders like teachers, firefighters, and volunteers, or just families facing hard times. Whoever you think is worthy, send a nomination. As of 2024, the Feel the Love program has completed more than 350 installations with help of dealers like Care Heating and Cooling. Our friends at Lenox donate all the equipment, and Care donates the labor and materials, and the installs are done at no cost. Remember, the deadline is August 31st. Care Heating and Cooling. Call 1-800-COOLING or book an appointment online at careheatingandcooling.com when you need a company you can trust.
Dear McDonald's, your breakfast menu, fire. 10s across the board.
I could be happy with anything, even though I order the same thing every time. Thanks for not judging me. I'll try something new next time. Maybe.
For a limited time, you can enjoy a savory sausage McMuffin with egg meal, including golden hash browns and a small hot coffee for just $5. Price and participation may vary.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Got one of those days that never stops? Try a stop at Speedway. Refresh your fuel tank, refresh your U-tank with 69-cent large Big Gulp drinks. And refresh the vibe for any drive. Refresh at Speedway with 69-cent large Big Gulp drinks with Speedy Rewards and try exclusive Mountain Dew Infinite Swirl flavor for a limited time only. The convenience stores of Speedway. Valid through 8/26/25. See app for full terms.
Is your money doing everything it can for you? Like automatically pushing more of your money to savings every day?
I don't think so.
Then switch to Huntington Bank. And let's get more from money. Huntington Bank. Welcome. Eligibility requirements apply. Some features may require enrollment.
At United Dairy Farmers, peach is our most popular ice cream. And once you taste it, you'll know why. Now's the time to grab a UDF peach shake, malt, cone, or sundae. They're only here for a limited time. UDF peach ice cream, made for you.
Broadcasting